Chapter 1069. Chapter 1069, Meritorious Deeds. There's nothing unusual in the sky. The middle-aged man who was called Hawkeye had a glint in his eyes. He swept his gaze across the sky once again and shook his head coldly. He looked at Wang Xian indifferently and said, "My ocular skill is the supernatural ability of a level 9 demonic beast, the ferocious-eyed demonic beast. It can see within a radius of 10 kilometers. Did you hear that? No wonder you guys suffered such heavy losses. It would be strange if there wasn't a problem with such an unreliable leader." When Haiwen heard Hawkeye's words, he spoke even more mockingly to Wang Xian. Wang Xian frowned slightly. His eyes revealed a displeased expression. "All right, even if we are being monitored, we are almost at the area of the water wolves. There will be scouts going there to investigate." Deputy Leader Meng waved his hand. He didn't take what Wang Xian and the rest said to heart. He knew how to settle the next matter. With scouts scouting the area, even if there were really dire wolves in the sky, it wouldn't affect their actions much. Wang Xian's eyes flickered, but he didn't say anything. Everyone went in and proceeded forward. Reporting, Deputy Leader. A group of dire wolves gathered at the shore of the ocean 3,000 meters ahead. Not long after, 2 soldiers who had gone to scout the area returned and reported to Deputy Leader Meng. "Everyone get ready." Vice Regiment Commander Meng shouted loudly. His eyes revealed a strong battle intent. "Get ready for battle." Hua! All the soldiers immediately placed their weapons in front of them and stared coldly ahead. The students from the 3 academies also took out their weapons and stared forward with excitement in their eyes. "Hide and advance." Vice Regiment Commander Meng patted the level 7 transcendent wind wildebeest beneath him. The wind-horned horse emitted a green glow that enveloped him. For a moment, the sound of the wind-horned horse moving forward was completely blocked. The sound of the rest of the soldiers moving forward completely disappeared. They moved forward like ghosts. The students also controlled the sound they made and moved forward quickly. Wang Xian raised his head and looked at the gray-winged goshawk in the sky. He had a bad premonition in his heart. They were getting closer and closer to the area where the water wolves were. Soon, groups of densely packed blue water wolves appeared in his sight. They were lying on the ground as if they didn't sense their arrival. It was abnormal. Wang Xian scanned his surroundings. On the left was the ocean. What's that? When he looked into the ocean, he noticed that the water wolves were lurking in the ocean. The nearest one was only 700 to 800 meters away. Wang Xian quickly looked to his right. On the right, there was a type of sky-blue seaweed growing. Within the seaweed, there were sky-blue water wolves that were as though they were invisible. There were about 40 to 50,000 hidden water wolves on the left and right sides. As expected, they are ready. Wang Xian thought to himself. He swept his gaze across Eagle Eye and felt that this guy's eye technique was a little unreliable. Charge. At this moment, they were already 1,000 meters away from each other. Vice Captain Meng, who was riding on the wind-horned horse, gave a loud shout and issued the order to reunite. The strongest force among the cavalrymen was to charge. Be careful of the sea on the left and the seaweed on the right. There are water wolves lying in ambush. However, the moment the vice captain gave the order, Wang Xian's voice suddenly rang out, causing everyone to be stunned. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. However, at this moment, everyone saw a bunch of thorns heading straight for the seaweed on the right. All soldiers, slow down your speed and form a square to defend against the attacks of the water wolves on the left and right. Before everyone could react, they saw a dense and terrifying number of water swords heading straight for the sea on the right. Wang Xian's 2 orders made Deputy Captain Meng's face turn ugly instantly. He turned his head around with a fierce expression. When he was giving out his orders, another person suddenly gave out orders that would interfere with the soldiers' execution. Although it wasn't enough to disrupt the formation, such actions would cause some interference. Roar. Crash. However, when the thorns and water swords landed on the left and right sides, the low growls and screams of the water wolves could be heard from both sides. One after another, water blue figures suddenly appeared. They were densely packed together. There were at least 40,000 to 50,000 of them, and they were emitting an icy cold aura. What? It's the water wolves' heavenly water one-colored divine ability. Deputy Commander Meng's expression changed slightly. There were actually water wolves lying in ambush on the left and right sides. Moreover, what surprised him the most was that the water wolves were obviously prepared. According to their information, The Water Wolf Sky Watercolor Divine Ability was a kind of concealment divine ability. The concealment effect was very powerful when it was still, and once it moved the effect would be greatly reduced. Most importantly, the Water Wolf's divine ability could only last for 30 seconds. This divine ability was completely of little value to the Water Wolf beast. However, this little value almost caused them to be surrounded. Once they were surrounded, their losses would definitely increase by several times. The Water Wolves already know that within 30 seconds, their group will arrive. A trace of fear appeared in Vice Commander Meng's eyes. He suddenly recalled the young man's warning and was shocked. Listen to his orders. Vice Commander Meng hurriedly roared loudly. Roar, roar, roar. The sound of the Water Wolves' roars could be heard. From both sides, 40,000 to 50,000 water wolves pounced towards them. The water-blue water wolves that blotted out the sky and the earth stared at them with their cold blue eyes. They waved their wolf claws forward. 3 water lines were coming towards them. Everyone below level 5 of the supernatural realm should put all their effort into defense. Those above level 5 of the supernatural realm should attack directly. When Wang Xian saw the water wolves that were attacking him, his expression didn't change. He shouted loudly again. Obey the order. When Deputy Captain Meng heard Wang Xian's words, he didn't have the time to give any more orders. He immediately shouted loudly. Yes. The group of soldiers quickly engaged in defense and attacked to meet the group of water wolves. Obey the order. All those below Transcendent Level 5 will defend with all their might. You guys can't withstand the attacks of so many water wolves. Those above Transcendent Level 5 can use their attacks to block the attacks. However, the students from the 3 academies on the left didn't manage to react to the orders given in such a short period of time. The instructor at the side hurriedly shouted loudly. At the same time, the instructors from the East Ocean Academy and the Ocean Academy looked at Wang Xian's position in astonishment. He actually noticed the ambush around him in advance. Moreover, he even made the most accurate counterattack. How was this possible? Just now, even the half-step void interpretation deputy commander hadn't been able to react in time. Ping ping ping. However, the sudden resistance still caused many students who hadn't been able to react to be attacked. More than a dozen of them had even died instantly. They were on the left side. Originally, it was an extremely safe position. However, they hadn't expected that they would actually be ambushed so suddenly. On the other hand, the attacks on the left and right sides were the fiercest. Chapter 1070. Chapter 1070 was the absolute commander. Charge left and right. Don't let the water wolves charge into our formation. Meet the enemy at the front. Deputy Leader Meng, don't attack. The strong enemy hiding in the dark has yet to appear. Eagle Eye, hover 10 meters above the ground and scan the surroundings. Wang Xian stopped attacking after he forced out the water wolves twice. He scanned the surroundings and commanded expressionlessly. Teams 1 to 5, charge forward. Teams 6 to 8, left and the rest on the right. Kill them all. After Wang Xian's voice rang out again, Deputy Captain Meng roared furiously. The battle had already begun. He was the deputy captain of the Ocean Corps, yet he didn't have the reaction speed of a single student. In fact, the one who gave the order was that student. This made them feel a little humiliated. Yes, charge. Boom. In an instant, the strength of the Riding Wind Battle Team was completely unleashed. The Riding Wind Battle Team was the only army in the East Sea City. Even in Starmoon Kingdom they were very powerful. Although there were more than 100,000 water wolves in the surroundings, most of them were below level 5 of the Extraordinaire. There were very few of them who were at level 6 or 7. Wang Xian saw that there were only about a dozen of them who were at level 7 of the Extraordinaire. There were only 2 or 3 of them who were at level 8 of the Extraordinaire. He did not make a move. The 5,000 soldiers of the Ocean Cultivator's army could totally withstand the current situation. How did he discover the surrounding water wolves in advance? He could even release the orders so quickly. The students from the 3 academies who entered the inner circle looked at Wang Xian with a shocked expression. Wasn't he the leader of the Demon Hunters Academy? Wasn't he the young man who caused the Demon Hunters Academy to suffer heavy losses on the way to Shanghai town? How could he detect the ambush in the surroundings so quickly and react so quickly? This didn't make sense. I didn't even notice it just now. How did he do it? Hawkeye, who was standing at a height of 10 meters, swept his gaze across Wang Xian. His eyes sparkled with a peculiar light. When he thought of the water wolves who were hiding in the surroundings with the water sky uniform ability, it was obvious that the water wolves knew that they would enter this place within 30 seconds. In that case, what he said about the beasts monitoring them in the sky was also true. He actually possessed a more powerful insight than himself. For a moment, everyone looked at Wang Xian with a look of shock on their faces. His powerful insight and commanding ability were a little abnormal. Wang Xian stood there and scanned his surroundings. He raised his head and looked at the sky. The gray-winged goshawk was still hovering in the sky and looking down. Looks like this demonic beast is not simple. There might be more than one powerful demonic beast. To be able to control the gray-winged goshawk and make a group of water wolves hide in the surroundings, the demonic beast behind him was definitely not that simple. He scanned his surroundings and searched slowly. Those demonic beasts must be hiding in the surroundings, preparing for a fatal blow or preparing to escape. I found one. When Wang Xian's gaze landed in front of him, his gaze was fixed on a huge rock. Behind the huge rock, a 2-meter-tall, blood-red demonic beast was lurking there. Its appearance could not be detected by humans. It had 2 legs and 2 arms, but it had a head that was like a mosquito. Its entire body was blood-red, especially its arms. There were actually many teeth on its arms, making it look extremely ferocious. Compared to demonic beasts, this creature should be called a demon. Judging from its energy, it should be at Transcendent Level 9. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He looked at Deputy Leader Meng and said, "Deputy Leader, there is a demonic beast hiding behind that huge beast. It is not weak." With a body size similar to that of an order, Deputy Leader Meng looked at Wang Xian before looking at the huge rock immediately. Crafty demonic beast. I'll go and kill him. Deputy Leader Meng didn't have the slightest doubt. With a move of his body, he dashed towards the huge rock at a terrifying speed. With the insight and commanding ability that Wang Xian had displayed just now, Deputy Leader Meng felt that he was inferior to him. Boom! The long spear in Deputy Leader Meng's hand pointed at the ground. A terrifying crack extended towards the huge rock. The huge rock exploded, revealing a demonic beast that was blood-red in color. Blood Barbarian. When Deputy Leader Meng saw the look of shock on the demonic beast's face, his eyes were filled with intense killing intent. "It's actually you bunch of blood barbarian demonic beast. Die." Bus. Deputy Leader Meng's figure flashed and disappeared from the ground in a strange manner. Then he emerged from the ground beside the blood barbarian demonic beast. His powerful supernatural power was just like an earthling. "Damn humans, I want to suck all your blood." The blood barbarian stared at Deputy Leader Meng with a ferocious look. His body was blood-red as he attacked him directly. There are also blood barbarian demonic beasts. There must be more than one of them. Wang Xian didn't pay attention to Deputy Leader Meng's battle. He looked at the gray-winged goshawk that was still circling in the sky. He raised his eyebrows slightly and his body immediately floated in the air. His dragon eyes of light and dark fire scanned his surroundings. 7 of them. All of them are at Transcendent Level 9. They are luring Deputy Leader Meng over and then hunting him down. Wang Xian was astonished. This blood barbarian demonic beast was deliberately hiding behind the huge rock. Even if he didn't say anything, this blood barbarian demonic beast would have been discovered on purpose. Vice Leader Meng, be careful. There are 7 Transcendent Level 9 blood barbarian demonic beasts hiding in the ocean ahead. They should be preparing to ambush you. Wang Xian had a thought and immediately sent a voice transmission to him. Deputy Leader Meng raised his eyebrows. There was a look of surprise in his eyes. He replied immediately, "Thank you, little brother." Wang Xian did not reply. He looked around and said, "There is a level 7 supernatural water wolf hiding on the left. A level 7 supernatural expert will deal with it. Students at the back, form a small team and bring the injured soldiers into the central circle to avoid casualties. Ao Jian, support that position. There are 3 Transcendent Level 7 water wolves there. An entrance has been torn open at that position. Send more than 10 Transcendent Level 5 students to block that place." Orders were issued one after another. At the beginning, the soldiers hesitated for a moment, but they immediately carried out the orders. Just now, even their vice-regiment commander was obeying this young man's orders. Now that their vice-captain was under the command of that young man and was going to kill that demonic beast directly, how could they not obey his orders? Although this young man was not their superior and as a soldier, They should not listen to other people's orders, but he was too awesome. Furthermore, the orders he gave were the most accurate ones. Quick, send over a dozen extraordinary level 5 students. The students of the Demon Hunters Academy immediately obeyed Wang Xian's order and rushed towards the opening that was broken by the water wolves. At the side, the students of the East Ocean Academy and the Ocean Academy pursed their lips as they looked at Wang Xian, who was standing in the air and giving out orders. Their eyes were filled with shock and admiration. Haiwen, who was standing below, looked at Wang Xian with an extremely embarrassed expression. Was this a nobody that he said he was? Was this the guy who caused great losses to the Demon Hunters Academy? Chapter 1071. Chapter 1071, Blood Barbarian Demonic Beast. Boom, boom, boom. It was a battle, an intense battle. 5,000 cavalrymen and more than 1,000 students from the 3 major academies were fighting against more than 100,000 water wolves. The difference was dozens of times, but the overall strength of the water wolves was much weaker than them. After a short battle, under the command of Wang Xian, a bloody massacre began. One by one the water wolves fell to the ground rapidly. The fresh blood made the entire ground sticky. Wang Xian did not make a move. He swept his gaze across the surroundings. When he realized that there was no threat, he turned his gaze to the position of Deputy Leader Meng. One person against 8 transcendent level 9 blood barbaric demonic beasts. Wang Xian had read about blood barbaric demonic beasts before. They were bloodthirsty and used fresh blood to increase their own strength. They absorbed the fresh blood of other creatures and refined their own bloodlines to increase their own strength. With sufficient fresh blood, these blood barbarian demonic beasts could be upgraded to the insightful void tier. They were extremely powerful. On the main road, the blood barbarian demonic beasts had caused many siege incidents. They controlled the beasts to attack the city. After that, they would devour the bloodlines of humans. They would also devour the dead beasts. To humans, the blood savage beasts were definitely their mortal enemies. There was still a huge gap between the 8 level 9 extraordinary blood savage beasts and the half-step void interpretation Deputy Commander Meng. In less than 2 minutes, 2 blood savage beasts were severely injured by Deputy Commander Meng. Isn't that Zhang Fengying's nephew? At this moment Wang Xian saw a familiar person. It was the young man Zhang Yushu who went to the auction house with Zhang Fengying that day. Wang Xian took a look. Zhang Yushu's strength had already reached transcendent level 5. He was very strong. However, this was also due to his bloodline. One by one the water wolves fell. One by one the blood barbaric demonic beasts were killed by Deputy Leader Meng. When more than half of the water wolves fell to the ground, the water wolves started to panic. Humans, you bunch of damn humans. It won't be long before we break through your city and kill all of you. Our king will kill all of you. None of you will be able to escape. After the 3 blood savage beasts were killed by Vice Commander Meng, the remaining 5 blood savage beasts roared with ferocious expressions. Their faces with sharp mouthparts twisted violently. Blood all over the world. Go to hell, you bunch of beasts. Vice Commander Meng's entire body was emitting a dense earthen yellow energy. With a wave of the long saber in his hand, the ground split open into a 1,000-meter-long abyss. Boom. He stomped his foot heavily and 3 more blood savage beasts were crushed. Blood explosion escape. 2 sharp sounds rang out and 2 blood figures quickly fled into the distance. Deputy Commander Meng frowned slightly and did not continue to pursue. I didn't expect the humans to be so strong to encircle us. Damn it, 6 brothers died. We must take revenge. We must destroy Shilai Town and then destroy Holy Sea Town. We must not leave any humans alive. Let's go find our king. The human Star Moon Kingdom has sent an expert. We must be careful this time. The 2 blood savage demonic beasts that had escaped instantly fled 10 kilometers away. They turned around and saw that the human expert did not chase after them. They let out a heavy sigh of relief. Poochie. However, just as the 2 demonic beasts let out a sigh of relief, 2 sickles appeared on their necks. With a light swipe, they were instantly destroyed. Wang. The 2 demonic beast corpses disappeared, and the white figure that flashed past also disappeared in an instant. 1,000 Mountain Crack. Along with Vice Commander Meng's slash, the battlefield covered an area of 3 kilometers in front of them. In an instant, tens of thousands of water wolves were killed, and the entire battle ended. Take as many water wolves' corpses as you can. Those who are injured, quickly treat them. Vice Leader Meng swept his gaze across the surrounding people and said loudly. Yes, leader. The group of soldiers nodded and began to clean up the last few hundred water wolves. They placed the corpses into their interspatial rings one by one. Fellow student, it was all thanks to you just now. Deputy Captain Meng moved and came before Wang Xian. He cupped his fists with a face full of gratitude. There's no need for that. Even without my reminder, we wouldn't have lost. Wang Xian shook his head lightly. Although we wouldn't have lost, many people are going to die. Deputy Captain Meng smiled and looked into Wang Xian's eyes. Your ocular skills are really powerful. Your command is also very strong. I wonder if you are interested in joining the ocean cultivators after graduation? Thank you for your kind intentions, Deputy Captain Meng. I want to be a member of the mercenary group. I don't want to be restricted. That's a pity. With your ocular skill and commanding ability, it's a waste of your talent to be a member of the mercenary group. The army is the best place for you. Wang Xian rejected Deputy Captain Meng's invitation to join the army. Naturally, it was impossible for him to join. His commanding ability could only be described as average. Of course, this was only comparable to Prime Minister Gui. Wang Xian's eye technique coupled with his commanding ability was still very strong for Deputy Chief Meng and the rest. This student's commanding and investigative ability is really strong. That's right. I didn't expect the Demon Hunters Academy to have such a genius. We're really lucky. It's all thanks to you for reminding us about what happened just now. Otherwise, we would have suffered great losses. The instructors from the 3 major colleges walked over and thanked Wang Xian. In the situation just now, if the water wolves were to really charge into the formation, the students from the 3 major colleges would definitely suffer heavy losses. They didn't have the experience of being soldiers. If they were flustered, someone would definitely die. You're welcome. Wang Xian shook his head and exchanged a few simple pleasantries with them. The students from the 3 major academies looked at this scene with envy. The battle just now had given the leader of the Demon Hunters Academy the limelight. They looked at Wang Xian while some of the students secretly went to the students of the Demon Hunters Academy to gather information. When they found out that Wang Xian was a new student, everyone had an incredulous look on their faces. Are you kidding me? A freshman? How can a freshman be your leader? It's him. Zhang Yushu looked at Wang Xian's figure with a look of surprise. Rest for 1 minute. Let's go back. At this moment, Deputy Leader Meng's voice rang out, causing everyone to start preparing immediately. Wang Xian also spoke to the few teachers beside him and walked to Ao Jian and the rest. His gaze swept across the surroundings and realized that there were still numerous bodies of water wolves on the ground. Dragon King, there are too many bodies of water wolves. We only have over 500 of them. Ao Jian and the rest walked over and spoke to Wang Xian. There were already quite a number of demonic beasts in their interspatial rings. Now they couldn't fit all of them in. Furthermore, not only could they not fit all of them in, there were about 100,000 of these hundreds of thousands of bodies that had to be thrown here. What a pity. Wang Xian looked at the bodies of the water wolves around him. These were huge resources for the Dragon Palace. Chapter 1072. Chapter 1072 was in great danger. Oh right, I think I saw something in the system treasury. Wang Xian's heart skipped a beat. He recalled the special item he encountered when he browsed through the system treasury the last time. He looked at the information in his mind and a smile appeared on his face. Spiritual storage bag, 10 kilometers in circumference. It can store living things. It requires 250,000 dragon crystals. A spiritual storage bag that was worth 200,000 was not a small price for Wang Xian. If it was converted into spirit stones, it would cost about 3 billion middle-grade spirit stones. Besides being equivalent to a large-scale interspatial ring, the spiritual storage bag also had a powerful effect. It could store living things. At that time, Wang Xian took a glance at it and gave it up because the price was too high. Now, it was suitable to exchange for the nearly 100,000 corpses of the ferocious beasts. Moreover, the corpses of the ferocious beasts were just the beginning. He still had to prepare for the rest of the ferocious beasts' corpses. Exchange. Wang Xian looked at his dragon energy. He still had 300,000 dragon crystals. He could buy one. But a very small cloth bag appeared in his hand. He didn't know what material the bag was made of, but it looked extremely soft. Wang Xian passed the bag to the side and the bag slowly disappeared. Ao Yao kept it. Return to the city immediately. Deputy Captain Meng's order rang out. All the soldiers immediately lined up. Line up. Wang Xian walked over. His gaze swept across the students of the Demon Hunter College and he shouted softly. The students didn't hesitate at all. They immediately lined up obediently. After witnessing Wang Xian's powerful scouting and commanding abilities, no one doubted Wang Xian's abilities anymore. In addition to his powerful abilities, even the instructors couldn't compare to him. Let's go. All the soldiers of the Riding Wind battle team rushed towards Shanghai town. The three academies followed them immediately. On the ground, hundreds of thousands of corpses of water wolves and ferocious beasts were left behind. When everyone's figures disappeared, a white shadow appeared and stored all the bodies on the ground into the storage spiritual bag. We've made a fortune. Even if it's only the bodies of some level 2 and level 3 ferocious beasts, they can't withstand the huge number. 100,000 bodies can help the 3,000 members of the Dragon Palace to advance to level 2 and level 3 of the extraordinary realm. When the strange demon handed the storage spiritual bag to him, Wang Xian revealed a smile on his face. The group traveled at a speed of less than half an hour and arrived at Shanghai town. Head to the resting area. Everyone close your eyes and rest. You may not be able to sleep or rest for the next few days. The four instructors spoke to all the students. Director Qian looked at Wang Xian with a complicated gaze. Initially he had thought of using some means to get his son to be the team leader. However, it seemed like that was impossible. He could even command the entire Riding Wind battle team temporarily. Now, even if he asked his son to be the team leader, the rest of the students might not agree. There was no way to compare. They were not on the same level. Yes, teacher. The students nodded and followed his gaze to look at Wang Xian, Xia Homing and some other students. They walked over and continued to flatter him. The feelings of admiration were endless. Wang Xian smiled faintly. At the back, Haiwen looked at Wang Xian's figure with jealousy. His face was filled with helplessness. When they returned to their resting place, all the students sat cross-legged on the ground to recover their exhausted energy. Student Wang Xian, come over here first. Let's go to the mayor's residence. 10 minutes later, a teacher suddenly rushed over and shouted at him. Yes. Wang Xian stood up and followed behind the teacher. He asked curiously, "What's wrong, teacher? Are the ferocious beasts attacking?" The situation is much more serious than we thought. Deputy Captain Meng asked me to call you over. It might be troublesome next. The teacher frowned and said with a worried expression. Is that so? Wang Xian revealed a hint of surprise as he followed behind and walked towards the mayor's residence. Father, you should go back and rest. Your injuries are so serious. That's right. Mayor Jean, you should go back and rest. Leave the situation here to us. Just as he reached the door, Wang Xian heard voices coming from inside. As he entered the hall, he looked over and saw Deputy Chief Meng sitting at the front with a solemn expression. Jin Chenyuan, who was sitting at the side, was sitting below with a pale face. At the side, a girl was standing at the side and talking to Jin Chenyuan. Jin Luyin, he is actually the daughter of the mayor. Wang Xian looked over in surprise. Following that, he swept his gaze across the surroundings and realized that everyone's expressions were not looking good. He walked over and sat at the back. It's all right. Although his injuries are more serious, it's not a big problem for him to sit here. Jin Chenyuan waved his hand. Jin Luyin had no choice but to pour him a cup of medicine. The demon beast siege this time has far exceeded our expectations. I didn't expect that we would suffer heavy losses when dealing with the weakest frog skin demon beast group among the 5 demon beast groups. 2 transcendent level 9 blood savage demon beasts almost left me there. Jin Chenyuan's face didn't have a trace of blood as he said worriedly. The matter of the demon beasts attacking the city this time was a bit tricky. If it wasn't good, the entire Holy Sea town would be broken through. There are 2 blood savage beasts controlling the frog skin beasts, and 8 rank 9 transcendent blood savage beasts controlling the water wolf. During the battle they even talked about their king. I think the king of the blood savage beasts should be half-step void interpretation. Vice Commander Meng's face darkened. He said with some fear, the weakest frogskin beast race has 2 rank 9 transcendent blood savage beasts controlling them, and the other 3 beast races have about 20 rank 9 transcendent blood savage beasts. 20? 20 rank 9 transcendent beasts, plus hundreds of thousands of beasts. Our Holy See Town can't resist them at all. The president of Holy See Town's Demon Hunters Association had an ugly expression on his face. His voice trembled as he said, "Furthermore, according to the information we received, some of the ferocious beasts around Holy See Town are planning to make a move. Vice Commander Meng, can East Sea Town still send experts over? Otherwise." He did not finish his sentence, but everyone knew what he was about to say. Not long ago, the Wind Riding Squad went to eliminate the Water Wolf clan, which was ranked second among the 5 fierce beast clans, while the group of experts from Holy See Town eliminated the weakest frog-skinned fierce beast. In the end, the mayor almost died, and Holy See Town only managed to eliminate the frog-skinned fierce beast clan after suffering heavy losses. In addition, the 2 blood savage beasts that controlled the frog-skinned fierce beast escaped. This made the high-level officials of Holy See Town feel some fear. There were still 3 fierce beast clans. Moreover, according to Deputy Commander Meng's information, there were even kings among the blood savage beasts. This made the situation even more dangerous. In addition, the fierce beasts around Holy See Town were restless. This time, Holy See Town was in imminent danger. If there weren't any experts to help, it would really be over. A huge crisis had already enveloped Holy See Town. Chapter 1073. Chapter 1073, Commander-in-Chief. The forces of East Sea City can no longer be moved. Vice Commander Meng's face darkened and he said slowly, "The Ocean Corps can only send out 1 Riding Wind battle team at most, and the rest must defend East Sea City." Then, Sir General. Unless there is an order from the king, Sir General cannot move. Vice Commander Meng looked at the high-level officials of Holy See Town. To deal with this crisis, we can only rely on our strength. As long as the other side doesn't have a profound void-level existence, it's not like we can't defend the town. Vice Regiment Commander Meng, you can make the arrangements. Holy See Town cannot be destroyed. Jin Qinyuan said firmly with a pale face. Once Holy See Town was destroyed, at least hundreds of thousands of people would die. Moreover, if the town was destroyed, they could only flee to East Sea City. Who knew how many people would die on this journey? Most importantly, Holy See Town had already accepted 500,000 to 700,000 people from West Arrival Town. If more than 1 million people poured into East Sea City wouldn't be able to accept it. If they were displaced, who knew how many people would lose their lives in the wild? West Sea Town had already been destroyed, so Holy See Town couldn't be destroyed. Otherwise, the number of people who died would be twice that of West Sea Town. Yeah, East Sea City can't allow more than 1 million people to enter. Otherwise, it would be a disaster for East Sea City. Vice Regiment Commander Meng's face darkened. There's only one way now. We have to destroy another beast race. Vice Regiment Commander Meng, are you going to destroy another one? Jin Qinyuan frowned slightly. That's right. If we destroy another one, we can completely rely on the city walls and the array formation to defend against it. Vice Regiment Commander Meng nodded and swept his gaze over the group of people. This time I'll lead the Riding Wind battle team over. The 3 great academies will coordinate with the strength of your Holy See Town to deal with the potential threats around Holy See Town. This is the only way. The safety of Holy See Town will depend on Deputy Leader Meng from now on. Jin Qinyuan nodded his head. What threats are there around Holy See Town? Wang Xian, who was listening from the side, frowned slightly and asked directly. Jin Qinyuan looked at Wang Xian with a hint of surprise in his eyes. This student Wang's command and insight is very strong. You can leave some matters of Holy See Town to student Wang to command. Deputy Leader Meng looked at Wang Xian and said with a smile. Wang Xian. Jin Luyan, who had been taking care of her father, looked at Wang Xian with a hint of surprise in her eyes. Leader Wang, I didn't expect this. Jin Qinyuan also looked at Wang Xian in surprise. He had a very deep impression of this young man. He was the leader of the Celestial Phoenix mercenary group. The last time when the monsters attacked the city, he became famous in one battle. Wang Xian is a student of our Demon Hunter College. He has the strength of a transcendent level rank 7. His command and insight are very strong. Vice Leader Meng will lead the soldiers to destroy them. The problem of Shanghai Town will be solved by the 3 major colleges and the experts of Shanghai Town. A teacher of the Demon Hunter College said. The other 2 teachers nodded as well. All right. Jin Qinyuan and the president of the Mercenary Association nodded. I'll lead my men to deal with a race of ferocious beasts first. I'll leave the matters here to you guys. Deputy Leader Meng stood up and spoke to them before walking out. In the hall, there were only the 3 major colleges and the group of high-ranking officials from Shanghai town left. According to the information we received, a group of demonic beasts are preparing to fish in troubled waters. They are controlling some ferocious beasts and are preparing to attack Shanghai town. Jin Qinyuan looked at them, his gaze landed on Wang Xian. Not long ago, Shanghai town experienced a siege by monsters. The 8 Ideal was behind it. However, we didn't manage to destroy them the last time. The strongest strength of the 8 Ideal is at level 8 Transcendence. However, there are about 10 level 8 Transcendents in this demonic beast race. To us, it is also very troublesome. In order to prevent this demonic beast race from fishing in troubled waters, it is best to get rid of them. Even if we can't get rid of them, we can't let them form an army of ferocious beasts. Do you have any detailed information on the 8 Ideal? We can send someone to clean up the eel. Wang Xian looked at Jin Qinyuan and asked directly. We don't have any specific information. However, if they want to control a race of ferocious beasts, we can easily find them. There are strange movements of ferocious beasts in the seamounts 70 kilometers east of Shanghai town. Jin Qinyuan shook his head and said. Then we will send people over. All the students of the 3 academies will be mobilized. How many experts can be mobilized in your Holy See town? The long-bearded elder of East Sea Academy asked. 1 Transcendent rank 8, 4 rank 7, 10 rank 6 and 30 rank 5. Jin Qinyuan said. So weak. Several instructors frowned slightly. That's enough. Call all of them. With our strength we can totally deal with them. Wang Xian nodded his head. In fact, he could destroy the 8 Ideal just by relying on the strength of his subordinates. Yeah, with our strength we can do it too. The teachers nodded their heads. Their goal was not to destroy the 8 Ideal, but to prevent them from forming a ferocious beast race. Alright, thank you everyone. Who will be in charge of this operation? The president of the Mercenary Association nodded and looked at the few teachers. There were 4 level 8 powerhouses present, but the operation this time required a commander. Let me do it. Gather everyone and act immediately. Wang Xian stood up and said. All right. The 3 instructors of the Demon Hunter College nodded immediately. Director Qian hesitated for a moment before nodding. All right. The 2 elders from the East Ocean College and the Ocean College hesitated for a moment before nodding. They had witnessed Wang Xian's scouting and commanding skills and had a better understanding of him not too long ago. A level 7 extraordinary student had 11 level 7 extraordinary subordinates. He had the ability to be the commander this time. Moreover, Wang Xian was the commander that even the vice-captain of the Ocean Cultivators Corps had to obey. Ha! The president of the Hiring Association was a little surprised, but he still nodded. He looked at Wang Xian with a smile and said, to be able to get Vice-Captain Meng's admiration and the approval of the teachers, everyone in our Holy See town will also listen to our little brother's command. Alright, let's set off then. Gather everyone. Wang Xian nodded. Wang Xian, you can do it. At this moment, Jin Luyan looked at Wang Xian and clenched her fists at her. Okay. Wang Xian smiled and gestured to the teachers of the Demon Hunters Academy. Then he walked toward the place where the students were resting. Luyan, do you know him? As he watched the group of people leave, Jin Qinyuan looked at his daughter and asked with a smile. Yes, I know him. The last time we went to East Sea City, Yuan hired the Immortal Phoenix mercenary group. He is so powerful that even the instructors of the Demon Hunter Academy are no match for him. Jin Luyan nodded. Chapter 1074. Chapter 1074, Obeyed the Order. To be able to get all the instructors of the 3 academies to agree to him being the commander this time, this leader of the Immortal Phoenix mercenary group is not simple. Looking at their disappearing figures, the smile on Jin Qinyuan's face slowly disappeared, and a worried look appeared in his eyes. I hope that Holy See Town can survive this crisis or else. Hurry up, there's another mission. Gather in front of the mayor's mansion. There's no time to rest. It seems that Holy See Town is in a bit of a crisis. It's the first time we've encountered a demon beast siege. It's so troublesome. The members of East Ocean Academy and Ocean Academy didn't rest for long before walking out and discussing in low voices. A large number of them had never really survived in the wild, and the number of ferocious beasts they had killed could also be counted. Now that they had so many tasks to complete, they felt a little tired. When they arrived at the gate of the mayor's mansion, the students of Demon Hunters Academy had already arrived, and the experts of Holy Sea Town had already stood up. In terms of overall experience, Demon Hunters Academy was a little stronger than East Ocean Academy and Ocean Academy. There were 500 people in Shanghai Town and less than 2,000 people in the three major colleges. Everyone don't speak. Wang Xian saw that everyone had arrived. He let out a soft shout and instantly released a wave of pressure from his body. Then he charged forward. Ha! Everyone was slightly shocked. As they felt the strong aura, their expressions changed slightly. What a strong aura! The teachers from the three academies and the experts from Shanghai Town were also slightly stunned. They looked at Wang Xian, who was standing at the front, with a face full of astonishment. It's him? Why is he standing at the front? How familiar. Oh right, it's Immortal Phoenix, the leader of the Immortal Phoenix mercenary group. Everyone was familiar with Wang Xian's face. Let's not talk about the three academies, the people from Shanghai Town were also familiar with him. Everyone knew about the monster siege last time, the famous Immortal Phoenix and the young team leader. I will be in charge of the next mission. All you need to do is to obey the orders. Wang Xian glanced at all of them and said in a deep voice. What? The students from the three academies were slightly stunned. Even the experts from Shanghai Town were stunned. Wang Xian looked very young. Although he could sense that he was very strong, he wasn't qualified to be a commander. Even the students from the three major academies who witnessed Wang Xian's insight and commanding ability were stunned. Everyone looked at the four extraordinary level 8 experts beside Wang Xian. Everyone has seen Wang Xian's insight and commanding ability. It's our decision to be the commander of this mission. The long-bearded elder from the East Ocean Academy said directly. Just do whatever I ask you to do next. I can guarantee your safety. If you don't obey my orders and you are in danger, I will not help you. Wang Xian said to everyone, now all the level 7 and level 6 powerhouses step forward. In addition, those below level 6 of the extraordinaire who are good at defense, long-range attacks, close combat and speed, stand in a row. Wang Xian made plans one by one. The people of the Transcendence continent were aware of the arrangement of troops. However, due to their training, it was very difficult to form a complete formation of 1,000 or 10,000 people. This time they were hunting ferocious beasts and demonic beasts. It was much more convenient to form small squads to engage in small-scale battles in the wild. Below, everyone immediately walked out according to their own abilities. Haiwan looked at Wang Xian's high-spirited order to all of them and curled his lips slightly. There was some jealousy and disdain in his eyes. An extraordinaire at level 6 will be the team leader. Form a team leader. The rest of the members can enter any team with supplements. As Wang Xian spoke, the teams were formed immediately. Each extraordinaire at level 6 would be the team leader. Haiwan looked at Zhang Yushu who was beside him and revealed a cold smile. The mission this time is to head to the Seamount region 70 kilometers away. The enemies are the 8-eyed eel and 8-clawed ferocious beasts of level 8 supernatural realm. We will be fighting in the sea. Everyone get ready. Guild leader, please explain to them some things to take note of in the Seamount region. Wang Xian spoke to everyone as he took the lead and headed towards the Seamount area. The president of the Mercenary Association explained to everyone the terrain of the Seamount area and the weaknesses of the 8-eyed eel and the 8-clawed ferocious beast. Under the attention of the people of Shanghai Town, everyone flew straight into the sky. The Seamount area was a hunting area 70 kilometers away from Shanghai Town. Here, the Seamount Mountains were hundreds of meters high from the sea. Looking from the sky, there were at least thousands of mountains. The Seamount region had 8-clawed ferocious beasts and a small number of 8-eyed eel demon beasts. The level of the 8-clawed ferocious beasts was not very high. They were generally at level 2 or 3, with the highest being at level 6 or 7. The 8-eyed eel had always been a worry to Holy Sea Town. The last monster siege was organized by the 8-eyed eel. This time Shanghai Town was in danger. For some reason, there were some unusual movements in the Seamount area. In order to prevent the 8-eyed eel from appearing again in the future danger, they could only eliminate it in advance. The Seamount area is ahead. Regardless of whether it's the 8-eyed eel or the 8-clawed ferocious beast, they all like to lie on the mountain peak. Now each team will head to a mountain peak. They came to the sky above the seamount region. Wang Xian said to everyone behind him, every supernatural 7th level powerhouse is located in the middle of the 10 teams. If the teams are in danger, rescue them quickly. If they encounter the 8 ideal, regardless of their level, report immediately. Yes. Everyone replied immediately. You guys go down first. Wang Xian was floating in the sky. His dragon eyes of light and dark fire started to observe the situation around him. Student Wang, are we going to move forward bit by bit from here? Director Qian frowned slightly and asked Wang Xian. The other 3 extraordinary level 8 powerhouses also looked at Wang Xian. There's only one way. Wang Xian looked at them and said. The 4 of them were slightly silent. Indeed, there is only one way. However, if we encounter the 8 ideal and the rest of the demonic beasts, we will be in danger. The president of the hiring association said. Don't worry. The 4 of you and my men are enough to deal with this demonic beast race. Wang Xian said with a smile. What? Student Wang, your men. The 4 of them were slightly shocked and looked at Wang Xian in astonishment. Wang Xian smiled and didn't answer them directly. Don't worry, a species of the 8 ideal demon beast is nothing to worry about. Moreover, we only have this method at the moment. The eyes of the 4 of them flickered as they looked at the 11 middle-aged men who were standing on the surface of the water with golden longswords in their hands. A look of astonishment appeared on their faces. With Student Wang's words, we can be at ease. A smile appeared on the face of the president of the hiring association. As long as everyone obeys the orders, no one will be in danger. Wang Xian said confidently. Chapter 1075. Chapter 1075, Green Vine Fruit. In the seamount region there were many mountains that stood on the sea. Birds and beasts were flying on the mountains. The deep ocean that was tens of thousands of meters deep and the towering mountains made the entire region extremely magnificent. Wang Xian floated in the sky and looked down at the ocean below. His dragon eyes of light and dark fire swept across the mountains. The 8 ideal and the 8-clawed ferocious beasts liked to attach themselves to the mountains. According to the guards of Shanghai town, thousands of 8-clawed ferocious beasts had gathered together a few hours ago. 8-clawed ferocious beasts lived alone and usually would not gather together. Once a group gathered together, there would definitely be powerful demonic beasts controlling them from behind. In order to prevent the danger from happening, they had to nip this danger in the bud during this critical period. Otherwise, when the other 3 groups of ferocious beasts arrived, along with the 8 ideal, the entire Shanghai town would be finished. Peng. There's only one 8-clawed ferocious beast here, and it's at transcendent level rank 3. We've already taken care of it. Come, let's go to the next mountain. There were close to 2,000 people in the team. Most of them were experts at transcendent level rank 4 and above. They were divided into a total of 100 teams. Each team was led by a transcendent level rank 5 expert, and a small squadron was led by a transcendent level rank 6 expert. In addition, there were also level 7 supernatural realm experts patrolling the surroundings. Their speed of searching for a mountain peak was extremely fast. Once they discovered an 8-clawed ferocious beast, they would kill it without any hesitation. Searching for a mountain peak would take at most 1 minute. The efficiency was extremely high. There were over 1,000 mountains. Based on their speed, they were also extremely fast. There are over 1,000 8-clawed ferocious beasts and a few 8 ideals gathered around the mountain peak in front of us. Wang Xian had been on high alert the entire time. After advancing for more than 2,000 meters, he realized that there were more than 1,000 8-clawed ferocious beasts gathered around a mountain peak in front of them. There are more than 1,000 8-clawed ferocious beasts around the green mountain peak in front of us. Everyone gather first and destroy those 8-clawed ferocious beasts. Don't let the other 8 ideals escape. He immediately gave an order. Yes. Below them, the instructors and the experts of Shanghai town responded. They looked ahead with astonishment in their eyes. They were so far away that they didn't even notice it. Wang Xian, who was standing above them, had already noticed it. This made them very surprised. A group of more than a dozen level 7 supernatural realm experts looked at each other and ordered the small team below to surround them quietly. Fight, kill them. The visibility in the deep sea was much lower than on land. When they were 1,000 meters away from the mountain, the group of Type 7 Transcendents noticed the beasts ahead and shouted out. In an instant, the small teams charged forward, with nearly 2,000 elites killing a group of 8 clawed beasts with ease. Even the 8 ideal beasts could not escape the pursuit of the Type 7 transcendence. Our commander's insight is so strong. No wonder he was the commander of this operation. He was able to discover the ferocious beasts from such a distance. In an hour or two at most, we'll be able to search the entire Seamount region. Some of the experts from Holy See Town discussed with admiration on their faces. They began to store the corpses of the ferocious beasts into their interspatial rings. Green vine fruit. It's a green vine fruit. At this moment, a cry of surprise came from the crowd. Everyone quickly looked over. Green vine fruit. It's actually a rare green vine fruit. At this moment, Haiwen, who was standing beside the mountain peak, saw the fruit growing on the mountain peak. His eyes lit up with excitement. Green vine fruit was a water-type spirit fruit. It was one of the rarest types of spirit herbs, and it had a spirit-type effect. There were 2 types of spirit herbs and spirit fruits. One was a normal spirit fruit that only increased one's strength, and the other was a spirit fruit that could help one comprehend a divine ability. Some spirit fruits had a special energy that could make one hallucinate. For example, after consuming the fruit, one would feel like they were in an unfamiliar place. This kind of strange effect could make one comprehend a special divine ability. The most precious thing about the green vine fruit was that it could allow a water element cultivator to comprehend a divine ability that could fill the sky with clear water. A fruit that could both increase water element spiritual energy and help people comprehend a divine ability, its value could be imagined. This kind of green vine fruit was very precious, 10 times more than a medicinal pill of the same level. Haiwen looked at the fruit and his body moved, directly arriving in front of the green fruit. The fist-sized fruit was red and there was a layer of green water flowing on it. It looked very magical. He reached out his hand to grab the green vine fruit excitedly. This kind of fruit was not something that could be bought with spirit stones. Even with his background, it was still a great opportunity for him. Whoosh! However, just as he reached out his hand to grab it, a figure grabbed the fruit and held it in his hand. It has been rumored that there is a green vine fruit in the Sea Mountain region. As expected, this green vine fruit will be handed over to the commander-in-chief. An extraordinary level 7 powerhouse from Shanghai Town grabbed the fruit in his hand and said before flying towards Wang Xian. This is what I discovered. Haiwen's expression changed slightly. Looking at the middle-aged man who ignored him, his face turned gloomy. Logically speaking, all the treasures obtained should be distributed by the commander. If the treasures don't say much, then they should be distributed by the commander. Fruits like the green vine fruit should naturally be distributed by the commander. After all, Commander Wang is so awesome. Without them, we would be in a lot of trouble. That's right. Those who are capable will get them. We don't have any objections about the treasures being distributed by the commander. Some of the people around saw the situation. Although they were envious, they still said with a smile. The treasure was given to those who were capable. Although Wang Xian didn't make a move, he could be said to be the core of the entire team. Naturally, the treasure that he obtained would have to be given to him first. No one had any objection and no one felt that it was unreasonable. Even if everyone wanted the treasure. Haiwen listened to the conversations around him, clenching his fists tightly. He gritted his teeth and looked up coldly. Continue. An order came from above, and the group continued to search. Damn it, I was the one who got it first. Haiwen roared out in anger. This green vine fruit was extremely important to him. His strength had only broken through 2 days ago, and with this green vine fruit, not only would he be able to build a solid foundation, but he would also be able to comprehend the clear water sky covering divine ability. Even if he could not comprehend it, it would be extremely beneficial to his future cultivation. If it wasn't for the command of the king, how could you have discovered it? Zhang Yushu, who was at the side, saw Haiwen's angry appearance and curled his lips as he said softly. Zhang Yushu, shut up. When Haiwen heard his words, he raised his head and stared at him coldly. When Zhang Yushu saw his angry gaze, he quickly shut his mouth. Haiwen had suddenly broken through to Transcendence Level 6, which was already much stronger than him. In addition to his background, he didn't dare to offend him. Chapter 1076. Chapter 1076, Zhang Yushu's Crisis. Continue. With Commander Wang around, it won't be long before we can clear out the entire Seamount region. It can also be considered to be a hidden threat to our Holy See town. This time we have to thank Commander Wang. Speaking of the last time when the monsters attacked the city, Commander Wang also massacred everywhere. The Immortal Phoenix mercenary group became even more famous after one battle. Commander Wang and his subordinates seem to have become even stronger. Over 100 squads continued to advance forward. Some of the experts from the Holy See town were chatting in low voices. The students from the 3 major academies were also discussing among themselves. Not long ago, Wang Xian had managed to destroy the dire wolf and the commander this time. It could be said that Wang Xian was in the limelight. It was not an exaggeration to call him the #1 person in the 3 major academies. His unparalleled strength, terrifying insight and powerful commanding ability made the genius students from the 3 major academies pale in comparison. Suppressing all the prodigies from the 3 major academies? Haiwen heard the conversation of the people around him and his face turned gloomy. He snorted coldly. As a genius with a powerful background, he was now being suppressed by someone of the same age. This filled him with jealousy. Moreover, this fellow had embarrassed him time and time again. This made him, who had always been proud, extremely angry. A fellow with a bloodline. When he cultivates to the peak of the bloodline, I'll see how arrogant you are. Just wait and see. Haiwen comforted himself in his heart. As he looked at the few teams under his control, his mood slightly improved. However, when he thought of that fellow commanding all of them, he felt uncomfortable again. They kept pushing forward. After passing by the group of 8-clawed ferocious beasts that they had just encountered, there were no ferocious beasts that had gathered together. The push was still going on. More than 2,000 people were searching the mountain peaks and killing the 8-clawed ferocious beasts one by one. Young Master Hai, there are treasures, treasures. In front of a mountain peak at the bottom of the sea, an excited voice shouted at Haiwen. What treasure? Haiwen impatiently looked at the young man in front of him. In the Ocean Academy, the most famous name was Haiwen's name. Most of the students in the academy called him Young Master Hai. Green vine fruit, it's green vine fruit, Young Master Hai. The young man pointed to the sky, lowered his voice and shouted excitedly. What? Green vine fruit? Haiwen's body trembled, and his face revealed an excited expression as he flew over. Young Master Hai, there are a few 8-clawed fierce beasts guarding it. There's a hole there and a powerful aura is coming from it. I suspect that there might be a transcendent rank 6-8 ideal demon beast inside. The young man pointed at a spot about 500 meters above and said to him. All treasures have powerful beasts guarding them. Haiwen stared at the green vine fruit, his eyes slowly burning. However, even if there are transcendent rank 6 beasts with our strength, we don't have to be afraid. His eyes flickered as he looked at the 3 transcendent rank 5 beasts surrounding the green vine fruit, then looked at the cave entrance. Zhang Yushu, your squad, come over here. Haiwen narrowed his eyes as he looked at Zhang Yushu and his men. Zhang Yushu had the strength of a transcendent rank 5 and led a squad. The people who followed him were all on good terms with him. The 2 young men who went to the auction together with him were also beside him. Why did that guy Haiwen call us over? One of the young men saw Haiwen calling them over and asked Zhang Yushu with a sullen face. I don't know. He's our company leader. Let's go over and take a look. Zhang Yushu hesitated for a moment. He looked at his team members and walked towards Haiwen. You 2 teams, come with me and kill those 3 fierce beasts. Haiwen saw them walking over and pointed at the 3 8-clawed fierce beasts that were attached to the mountain peak. Oh, that is? Green vine fruit. Zhang Yushu looked up and saw the fruit beside the 3 ferocious beasts. He was stunned. That's right, green vine fruit. Go and tie down those 3 ferocious beasts. Haiwen smiled and the corners of his mouth curled up. There is a hole beside the green vine fruit. There might be a demon beast 8 ideal in it. Let's just... Shut up. Even if there is one, it's at transcendent level 6. With my strength, it's enough to deal with it. Zhang Yushu looked up and frowned as he spoke. Before he could finish, he was interrupted by Haiwen. He stared coldly at Zhang Yushu. Obey the order, go up. But, the commander-in-chief has said that if you encounter a demon beast, you must immediately report it. Zhang Yushu's expression was somewhat unsightly as he spoke. Which eye of yours saw a demonic beast? Zhang Yushu, you will enter the Ocean Cultivator Corps in the future. The most important thing in the Corps is to obey orders. You are disobeying orders and you still want to enter the Ocean Cultivator Corps? Haiwen stared at Zhang Yushu with a cold expression. Zhang Yushu and the others' expressions changed slightly. Now that they were on a mission, they wouldn't be worried at all if someone else used this matter as an excuse. However, if Haiwen said these words, if he intentionally used this matter to cause some trouble to the Ocean Cultivator Corps, it would definitely be a fatal blow to their future. The most ideal way for the students of Shanghai Ocean Academy was to enter the Ocean Cultivator Corps. Alright, but if there are demonic beasts inside, we will immediately report it. Zhang Yushu and the others looked at each other and said with a dark expression. Just do your own thing. Haiwen said to them with a mocking expression. He liked the feeling of controlling others the most. Let's go. There are 3 transcendent level 5 beasts. We need 2 teams to work together. Zhang Yushu looked at the team leader beside Haiwen and said in a deep voice. All right. The young man who had just started reporting nodded. The group of 20 moved and immediately flew towards the location of the green vine fruit. Be careful. There might be even more powerful demonic beasts in that cave. Zhang Yushu reminded in a low voice as he looked at Haiwen who was following beside him. The surrounding people nodded. Haiwen licked his tongue as he held a defensive spirit tool in his hand. He stared at the green vine fruit with a burning gaze. Attack. When they were 100 meters away, 3 8-clawed ferocious beasts with a huge head had already discovered them. Zhang Yushu gave a light shout as the weapon in his hand emitted a green light as he directly attacked a transcendent rank 5 ferocious beast. Haiwen and the rest of the group also unleashed their attacks. The terrifying blade light and attribute attacks covered the bodies of the 38-clawed beasts. Boom, boom, boom. When the attacks landed on the mountain peak, a muffled sound rang out. Hiss. One of the 8-clawed beasts had 4 of its claws sliced off, as it let out a terrifying sound. Whoosh. However, right at this moment, 8 terrifying white eyes suddenly popped out from the black hole beside the green vine fruit, and they stared coldly at them. Chapter 1077. Chapter 1077, The Son of General. The 8-eyed eel had 8 eyes and each eye was extremely pale. The 8-eyed eel was a water attribute demonic beast, and its eyes could release magical powers. With 8 eyes it could release 8 magical powers at most. Its limit was also to advance to transcendent level 8. When the 8-eyed eel came out of the cave, everyone immediately felt their bodies turn extremely cold. Not good, it's a demonic beast. Zhang Yushu saw the 8-eyed eel coming out of the cave and his expression changed slightly. He quickly shouted. Shut up, continue to attack. Hold on for 10 seconds. Haiwen saw the 8-eyed eel coming out of the cave and was slightly shocked. However, he quickly roared. How could he call for help at this time? Once a transcendent level 7 expert came over, the green vine fruit would no longer belong to him. He wanted to put the green vine fruit away before calling for help. So, at this time the 8-eyed eel peeked out from the hole, its eyes shooting out a cold glint as cold water arrows shot towards them. Its body drilled out at least 5 meters long. Its head was huge and it had a snake-like body. Attack. Haiwen roared and waved the sword in his hand, creating a 100-meter vacuum in the sea. The vacuum was torn toward the 8-eyed eel. Zhang Yushu and the others looked serious as they slashed their weapons. Buzz. One of the 8-eyed eel's eyes flashed with a blue ball of light. The ball of light came out of the eye and slowly grew bigger, enveloping its entire body. One after another, attacks landed on the 8-eyed eel's body, causing faint ripples. It shook its body, and its huge tail began to turn white. The surface of its tail began to freeze, directly charging towards them. Good timing. Zhang Yushu held a spirit tool in his left hand, and his eyes revealed an excited expression as he directly went up to meet the attacks. Ping! Ping! The 8-eyed eel's frost-white tail directly swung onto Zhang Yushu's body. However, at the instant it struck, a thin stream of water appeared on his body, and the stream of water blocked all the attacks. Zhang Yushu's body moved and he fell down. The 8-eyed eel didn't see Haiwen who was hit. It ignored him and attacked Zhang Yushu and the others. Haha. When Haiwen saw that the 8-eyed eel didn't attack him anymore, he moved and flew towards the green vine fruit. With a wave of his arm, he kept the green vine fruit into his interspatial ring. Not good, please help. However, Zhang Yushu and the others who were facing a transcendent level 6-8 ideal had a huge change in expression. They hurriedly shouted, "Trash!" Haiwen, who had just kept the green vine fruit, heard this shout and said disdainfully. However, he had already obtained the green vine fruit. Even if there were experts coming over, he would be fine. Aw! At this moment, a scream was suddenly heard. He turned around and realized that 3 people had actually died under the attack of the 8 ideal. Haiwen frowned and a hint of impatience could be seen in his eyes. What a piece of trash. Teacher, request for reinforcements. He immediately shouted out loud. The 3 level 7 extraordinaire powerhouses nearby immediately looked over and flew over quickly. What's going on? Wang Xian and the 4 level 8 supernatural realm experts looked down from the sea and raised their eyebrows slightly. I'll go and take a look. The old man from the Ocean Academy heard this familiar voice. His body moved and he immediately flew down. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. When he saw the 8 ideal, he frowned slightly. Not far away from the 8 ideal, there was a familiar figure. Someone's dead. I'll go over and take a look. Wang Xian scanned the area. His eyes sparkled. After saying that, he flew towards that location. The old man and the president of the East Ocean Academy hesitated for a moment before flying over as well. Boom. When Wang Xian flew over, the 8 ideal had already been killed. His gaze swept across the surroundings and landed on Zhang Yushu's body. There was a huge wound on his chest. The wound almost took his life. What's going on? I told you to report immediately if you encounter any demonic beasts. How could you still be attacked by demonic beast? Wang Xian took out a transcendent level 6 pill and passed it to Zhang Yushu. He swept his gaze across the surroundings and asked in a deep voice. 4 young men died at the hands of the 8 ideal. It should be the demonic beast that suddenly came out from the cave. They didn't react in time when they were attacked. Standing beside Haiwen, the old man who was at supernatural level 8 from the Ocean Institute suddenly spoke. He looked at Haiwen and asked worriedly, "Are you all right?" "Uncle Jiang, I'm fine." Haiwen shook his head. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows and looked at Zhang Yushu beside him. He opened his mouth and his eyes flickered. However, after a moment of hesitation, he looked at the old man from the institute. It's inevitable that there will be casualties in the wild. Demonic beasts are too cunning. That's right. It's already lucky that only 4 people died in this operation. The old man from East Sea Academy and the president of the hiring association shook their heads helplessly. A few middle-aged men who were at transcendent level 7 were prepared to collect his body. Who plucked the green vine fruit by the entrance of the cave? Wang Xian pointed at the remaining green vine fruit by the entrance of the cave with an expressionless face and asked directly. "Ha." The people around were slightly stunned as they looked at the location that Wang Xian pointed at. "What? I discovered the green vine fruit and risked my life to obtain it." Haiwen raised his head slightly and said with a displeased expression when he saw Wang Xian discovering the green vine fruit. "Your team members were attacked by the 8 ideal, yet you still have the time to pluck the green vine fruit." A hint of coldness appeared in Wang Xian's eyes. He patted Zhang Yushu who was beside him and said, "Speak. Tell us everything that happened just now." "You." Haiwen stared at Wang Xian with anger in his eyes. He looked at Zhang Yushu coldly. "Phew." Zhang Yushu took a deep breath and said with a solemn face, "Captain Haiwen called our team over just now. He wanted us to attack the green vine fruit that was guarding them together with him. There was a deep hole beside the green vine fruit. We suspected that there were more powerful demon beasts or fierce beasts inside, but Captain Haiwen didn't let us ask for help and asked us to attack together with him. After we attacked together, an 8 ideal drilled out of the black hole. I didn't expect Captain Haiwen to dodge the attack of the 8 ideal and pick the green vine fruit after he blocked it with a defensive spiritual artifact. In the end, 4 of our comrades were killed during this period of time." Zhang Yushu said with a bad expression. Haiwen's background was too big. It would be a disaster for the Zhang family if they were to offend him completely. "Zhang Yushu, you better think it through before you say anything." Haiwen stared at him coldly. He was full of threats. "Then what explanation do you have?" Wang Xian stared at Haiwen coldly. "I have nothing to explain." Haiwen tilted his head and said disdainfully. "Good. As the captain, you caused the death of 4 members because of your selfish desires. You deserve to die." Chapter 1078. Chapter 1078, Under the Sun of General. Wang Xian's cold voice rang out. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Haiwen. The long sword in the hand of a golden swordfish not far away shook slightly. Whoosh! When Wang Xian finished his sentence, a golden swordfish attacked him directly. Stop! Wang Xian actually dared to let his subordinate kill him. His expression changed drastically. The old man from the Ocean Academy also changed drastically. He shook the long sword in his hand and stood directly in front of the golden swordfish. Stop! He shouted again and looked at Wang Xian with an extremely embarrassed expression. Student Wang, it's not good to kill someone before we have a detailed understanding of the matter. Then let him tell us how these 4 people died. Since I'm the commander of this mission, I have to be responsible for everyone. Wang Xian pointed at the corpse on the ground with a cold expression and looked at Haiwen. The one who died was a member of our Ocean Academy and a student of the East Ocean Academy. We will settle this matter. The old man from the Ocean Academy said with an embarrassed expression. You will settle it. Wang Xian looked at him with a cold smile on his face. He shouted softly, Everyone come here. Everyone come here. Wang Xian's voice instantly spread to the ears of everyone around him. Those who didn't know what was going on had astonished expressions on their faces. Let's go over. Commander Wang is calling us over. I don't know what's going on. Let's go. With an order, everyone rushed over. What are you doing? Haiwen's expression changed when he saw Wang Xian calling everyone over. He stared at Wang Xian and shouted in a low voice. Tell me what happened just now. Wang Xian stared at him expressionlessly. What did I say? What does their death have to do with me? Just because they are too weak. Haiwen gritted his teeth and glared at Wang Xian as he shouted loudly. As the captain, you asked your team members to cover you to pick the green vine fruit. Do you think it has anything to do with you? I said, report immediately if you encounter any demonic beasts. Why didn't you report it? Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and said coldly. What's going on? Someone's dead. What's going on? The group of people who had just arrived saw the corpse beside them and were astonished when they heard their words. Commander Wang, our oceanography school will settle this matter. We will handle it ourselves. The old man from oceanography school walked slowly to Haiwen and stared at him with a solemn expression. We are not in your oceanography academy now. I am in charge of the mission now. A student from your oceanography academy has caused the death of 4 people due to his selfish desires. Your Oceanography Academy is the backup force of the Army of Ocean Cultivators and is managed in a regimental manner. I would like to ask, how do you resolve this situation? The corners of Wang Xian's mouth curled up slightly as he spoke coldly. The situation seems to be that the captain of the team who is at Transcendent Level 6 has discovered the green vine fruit. However, there might be danger in that cave. In order to obtain the green vine fruit, he didn't request for reinforcements. Instead, he ordered his subordinates to help him block the attack. In the end, 4 of them died. This bastard sacrificed 4 of his comrades just to obtain the green vine fruit. This is a crime that deserves death. If he were to be placed in the ocean core, he would be killed immediately. Some of the surrounding students and the experts from Holy Sea Town looked at Haiwen and whispered with disdain. Only the students from Ocean Academy frowned as they watched this scene. How to resolve this is our Ocean Academy's matter. We don't need to trouble the king to command us. The old man from Ocean Academy said in a deep voice. People like this should be killed immediately. That's right. Just like Commander Wang said, we are not in your Ocean Academy now. We have to obey the rules outside. They should be killed. Damn it, betraying your own teammates. People like this should be fed to fierce beasts. However, as soon as the old man finished speaking, a few middle-aged men around him said indignantly. All of you shut up. When Haiwen heard the words of the people around him and everyone's disdainful eyes, his face revealed an angry expression. He roared loudly with a ferocious expression. How arrogant! I really don't know how Ocean Academy nurtured such a fellow. The president of Holy Sea Town's Employment Association pointed at Haiwen with an angry expression as he spoke. He's here with us now. According to the rules, even if we don't kill him, we have to cripple him. An expert at Transcendent Level Rank 7 echoed. Shut up, old geezer. There's still the few of you. If you dare to kill me, I'll see that you're courting death. Haiwen pointed at each and every one of them with a malevolent expression. HMPH, such a despicable person. You won't shed tears until you see the coffin. The hiring association's president's expression changed slightly, and he directly raised the staff in his hand. If any of you dare to touch me, your entire family will die. Haiwen directly pushed aside the old man in front of him, and his gaze was cold and disdainful as he stared at the hiring association's president. Forget it. At this moment, the long-bearded old man from the East Ocean Academy who was riding a bird and beast frowned and said faintly, "The ones who died were students from the East Ocean Academy and the Ocean Academy. We will settle this matter." As he spoke, he looked at Wang Xian. I really want to know how powerful his background is. He actually protected him so much even after he caused the death of your students. Wang Xian smiled faintly and said. The faces of the instructors of the two academies changed instantly when they heard this. The students of the East Ocean Academy and the Ocean Academy around them also had ugly expressions. The ones who died were their classmates. They were killed by someone. However, the academy still had to protect the person who caused their deaths. Instantly, everyone felt a sense of sympathy for the dead rabbit. Some of the students stared at Haiwen with anger in their eyes. My father is Tsunami Sky. If you have the guts, try touching a single strand of my hair. Haiwen pointed at Wang Xian with an embarrassed expression and shouted arrogantly, "Just you wait." Today he was extremely furious. He was despised by everyone around him. It was all because of this fellow. He stared at Wang Xian with a hint of killing intent in his eyes. Tsunami Sky. When everyone around heard this name they were slightly stunned. Then they sucked in a breath of cold air. Tsunami Sky was the commander of the army of ocean cultivators, the general of Star Moon Kingdom, and a powerhouse at the insightful Void tier. No wonder he dares to be so arrogant. No wonder even the instructors of Ocean Academy and East Ocean Academy have to protect him. Everyone had an embarrassed look on their faces. When Wang Xian heard the word Tsunami Sky, he was also slightly stunned. After all, this was the son of a Void interpretation expert, the leader of the Ocean Corps. The son of a top-notch expert. No wonder he dared to be so unbridled. He even dared to threaten me at this moment. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes slightly and said faintly. From the beginning, when he saw that Deputy Leader Meng of the Ocean Corps was very enthusiastic about Haiwen, he felt that his identity was not simple. However, he did not expect that he had such a huge background. He was the son of an insightful Emptiness Realm expert and a general. So what if I threaten you? Haiwen stared at Wang Xian with disdain and snorted coldly with a little malevolence. Chapter 1079. Chapter 1079, Crippled. So what if he threatened you? When Haven's arrogant voice sounded, everyone's faces revealed an embarrassed expression. A guy, because of his own selfish desires, caused the death of 4 companions, and now he even pointed at the commander and said that he threatened you. This kind of arrogant behavior made everyone have an impulse to kill him. However, no one dared to make a move. The general's son, the descendant of a Void interpretation expert, who dared to touch him. Just as he said, as long as someone dared to touch even a hair on his head, what they would face next might be the revenge of a Void interpretation expert. Especially there was a riding wind battle team here in Holy Sea Town, a large battle team of the Ocean Cultivator Army. This battle team was all his father's subordinates. At this time, even if he said these words, no one would be able to do anything. His background was too strong. It was so strong that no one dared to make a move. When the few instructors of the Ocean Cultivator Academy heard Haiwen's arrogant voice, the corners of their mouths twitched and they turned their faces to the side. However, they didn't say anything. Speaking of which, they were all subordinates of Haiwen's father. Are you threatening me? When Wang Xian heard his words, his eyes flickered slightly. A hint of killing intent appeared in the eyes of the 11 golden swordfish at the side. Ha! The old man from the Ocean College, the old man from the East Ocean College, and the president of the Employment Association of Holy Sea Town instantly sensed the killing intent of the golden swordfish. The 3 of them changed their expressions slightly. Don't take yourself too seriously, Commander-in-Chief. Do you believe? All right, young Master Hai. However, Haiwen didn't sense the killing intent of the golden swordfish at all. He continued to speak arrogantly. When the old man from the Ocean College saw the situation, he hurriedly interrupted him. Humph, I'll go back first. Haiwen did not say anything else. He noticed the disgruntled expressions of the people around him and knew that he could not stay here any longer. He snorted coldly again and wanted to leave. He turned around. The students from the 3 major academies and the experts from Holy See Town had ugly expressions on their faces. However, they still took the initiative to open up a path. Crush. At this moment, 4 figures blocked the path directly. Their cold eyes were filled with killing intent as they stared at him. "Did I let you go?" At the same time, a cold voice was heard, causing Haiwen to stiffen up. He turned around with a gloomy expression and stared at Wang Xian with his dark eyes. "How dare you stop me? Commander Wang." The old man from the Ocean Academy also looked at Wang Xian with an unpleasant expression. Although all of this was Haiwen's fault, he couldn't let anything happen to him no matter what. The ones who died were the people from the East Ocean Academy and Ocean Academy. "If you don't care, I won't get involved in this mess. However, if you dare to threaten me, it won't be so simple." Wang Xian looked at the old man from the Ocean Academy and revealed a cold expression. "Do it, cripple him." Wang Xian looked at the golden swordfish and the rest and said immediately, "Wang Xian, don't cause trouble for yourself." The old man from the Ocean Academy shouted loudly. The aura on his body trembled and the aura of an extraordinary level 8 powerhouse was emitted directly. The few instructors at the side also held their weapons tightly and stared at Wang Xian with an embarrassed expression. Clang, 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 clang. However, at this moment, a golden sword ray came from the surroundings and locked onto the 5 people from the Ocean Academy. The terrifying sword ray could be seen floating around the 5 of them with the naked eye. The expression of the old man from the Ocean Academy changed drastically. He looked at the golden goldfish that had locked onto them with a hint of fear in his eyes. 4 of them were at Transcendent Level 8 and 4 of them were at Transcendent Level 8. Whoosh! The other golden swordfish moved. With a flash, he appeared beside Haiwen. Haiwen's face was filled with shock. Everything happened in a split second. He could feel that someone was grabbing his neck tightly. There was no time for him to react. "Stop. If you dare to make a move, the general will not let you off." The old man from the oceanography school shouted in shock. Everyone was stunned. Wang Xian actually dared to make a move on the general's son. This was simply offending a general and an insightful void martial artist. He would not be able to stay in the entire Star Moon Kingdom in the future. Bang! The old man from the oceanography school responded with a palm. The palm landed heavily on Haiwen's chest. "Ah!" A scream came from his mouth. His eyes were wide open and filled with disbelief. You guys actually dared to cripple me? You deserve to die." Haiwen's eyes were in a trance. He stared at Wang Xian with his face twisted from the pain and spat out traces of blood. "Continue to threaten me?" Wang Xian said to him with a cold smile. "Wang Xian, how dare you? How dare you make a move?" The old man from the Ocean Academy was trembling slightly. He stared at Wang Xian and growled in a low voice. Wang Xian looked at the old man and sneered. He was a little disdainful. "I really don't know how an insightful void martial artist has such a foolish son. So what if I kill him?" His words caused the old man's expression to change again. "So what if I kill him? At most he wouldn't stay in Star Moon Kingdom anymore. He would go to other kingdoms. You are an insightful void martial artist, so what if you are a general? What can you do if you kill and run away?" Wang Xian's words also stunned everyone. 2 words appeared in their minds: "You have guts." However, at this moment Haiwen was panicking. A hint of fear flashed in his eyes. The other party dared to attack him directly. If he was really killed, he would be finished. He only had 1 life left. He was afraid and his body was trembling. "Please don't kill me. Please, I was wrong." Haiwen swallowed a mouthful of saliva. He looked at Wang Xian hurriedly and kept on saying. He begged for mercy. He begged for mercy. The tough ones were afraid of the tough ones. The tough ones were afraid of the tough ones who didn't care about their lives. When he thought about how Wang Xian dared to kill him, his arrogance from before completely disappeared. He begged for mercy with a face full of panic. Wang Xian looked at him mockingly. "If you let me go, I will definitely not seek revenge in the future. Let me go." When Haiwen saw his expression, his heart was even more terrified as he shouted loudly. "Student Wang Xian, don't be rash. Don't be rash." The old man from the Ocean Academy was filled with panic. Damn, he didn't expect Haiwen to be so stupid and arrogant. He also didn't expect Wang Xian to be so reckless. Now, just 5 of his underlings had displayed the strength of a level 8 extraordinary. They didn't have the strength to save Haiwen. Now they could only hope that Wang Xian wouldn't be so rash. When the surrounding people saw this scene, they felt very pleased. Even the students of the Ocean and East Ocean academies were filled with excitement. They looked at Wang Xian with admiration. The death of 4 students made them feel like a fox mourning the death of a rabbit. Wang Xian's actions made him feel that the resentment in his heart had eased a little. If it was not because they were afraid of Haiwen's background, they would have cheered for him long ago. Looking at Haven, they looked at him mockingly. So what if he was threatening you just now? Now he's begging you not to kill me? Chapter 1080. Chapter 1080, Server. Cripple him. Everyone's gaze was focused on Wang Xian. In the end, Wang Xian did not choose to kill him. If he were to kill him, the consequences would be that the entire Ocean Cultivator army would come after him immediately. At that time, many of his plans would be disrupted. Keeping him alive would allow him to completely offend a void interpretation stage powerhouse. However, the other party would not attack him directly. Especially when they were so far away from each other, this would give him a lot of time. As long as he settled the matter of the demonic beasts attacking the city and obtained the corpses of the demonic beasts, Wang Xian might not be afraid of an insightful emptiness realm expert. Therefore, for the sake of his next move, he had to endure it. If he wanted to kill a cripple in the future with the strength of the Dragon Assassin organization, unless he stayed by his father's side 24 hours a day, he would definitely die. Bang! After Wang Xian finished his sentence, the golden swordfish's palm landed on Haiwen's body again. Ah! A scream sounded again. Haiwen, who was grabbed by the golden swordfish, fainted like a puddle of mud. Continue with the mission and resolve the crisis in the Sea Mountain region as soon as possible. Wang Xian looked at Haiwen, who had not fainted, and said to everyone. The golden swordfish that was holding on to Haiwen threw it in front of the old man from the Ocean Academy. He caught it quickly. Continue. Come, continue with the mission. Other than the few instructors from the Ocean Academy who looked extremely embarrassed, everyone else smiled and shouted loudly. Few, send young Master Hai back. A few of the Oceanic Academy's instructors looked at the unconscious Haiwen. His entire body had been crippled. Although his father's strength could cure him, his cultivation could be considered completely crippled. It would take at least 7 to 8 years for him to completely recover. How satisfying. Damn it, this fellow is simply too arrogant. He's crippled well. It would be even better if we could kill him. It might be troublesome if we kill Commander Wang. However, it's interesting to see that guy's fear from the beginning to the end. The son of the general is amazing. He killed 4 of his teammates and the instructors of the academy are still protecting him. We can't let our son go to the Ocean Institute in the future. It's too trashy. A bunch of students from the Ocean Institute don't even dare to fart. Haha, the bunch of cowards from the East Ocean Institute and the Ocean Institute. Our student Wang Xian from the Demon Hunters Institute is the best. Hey, you guys can't say that either. After all, this guy is the son of the general. We don't dare to offend him. However, it's all thanks to student Wang Xian this time. It's so satisfying. The group proceeded forward. Some of the powerhouses from the Demon Hunters Institute and the Holy Sea Town were chatting excitedly. When the students from Ocean College and East Ocean College heard this, they were a little unhappy. However, they were all supportive of Haiwen's abolition. In an instant, Wang Xian's prestige had reached its peak. Even the students from the other 2 colleges were filled with admiration. The people from Holy Sea Town were filled with admiration. One by one they started to talk about Wang Xian. From the leader of the Celestial Phoenix mercenary group to the domineering attack just now, all of them felt their blood boiling. However, I'm afraid that guy will take revenge on Commander Wang. He should take revenge, but Commander Wang isn't easy to deal with either. He actually has so many extraordinary level 8 experts under him. His strength is also very terrifying. Finally, everyone spoke slowly. When they arrived at a mountain peak, they ended their conversation and continued to deal with the hidden dangers of the 8 ideal. Commander Wang, you have to be more careful in the future. On the surface of the sea, the president of the Hiring Association looked at Wang Xian with admiration and reminded him. Don't worry. Wang Xian smiled. He was extremely vigilant in his heart. If that fellow's father really came, he would have to hide for a while. However, Commander Wang, don't worry. Currently, the Holy Sea town is in imminent danger. At this time, even the commander of the Ocean Cultivator Corps wouldn't dare to kill the meritorious officers guarding the city. The president of the Hiring Association said with a smile. This time it was Haiwen who was at fault first. Moreover, it was during a critical period. If a void interpretation stage powerhouse really dared to attack the meritorious person guarding the city at this time, not to mention his reputation as a commander, even the Star Moon Kingdom wouldn't agree. Wang Xian smiled faintly. He didn't believe what the president of the Hiring Association said. As a void interpretation expert, a top-notch expert in the entire Star Moon Kingdom, the Star Moon Kingdom might not hold him accountable if he were to kill someone. However, he wouldn't be too worried. Since the person wasn't dead yet, a void interpretation expert wouldn't come over. The operation continued. It was likely that the 8 Ideal sensed the threat from Wang Xian and the rest. After searching all the mountains and killing 10,000 to 20,000 8-clawed ferocious beasts, it thoroughly searched the entire Sea Mountain region. It's about time. Although we didn't encounter the 8 Ideal race, they are no longer a threat. Let's go back. The president of the Employment Association of Shanghai Town scanned the surroundings and said to Wang Xian. Okay, let's go back. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly and shouted softly, let's return to the city. Yes. The group of people flew out from the sea and followed behind Wang Xian. They flew directly towards Shanghai Town. Phew, if we don't count the 4 people who were killed, it can be said that none of us died this time. This is all thanks to Commander Wang. On several occasions, he was able to discover stronger ferocious beasts and 8 ideals that were lying in ambush in advance. The 11 subordinates under Commander Wang are so strong too. The 5 to 6 people who attacked were all at Transcendent Level 8. It can't be that all 11 of them are top-notch experts at Transcendent Level 8, right? On the way back, everyone looked at Wang Xian's back with respect. His strong insight and powerful subordinates were simply invincible. Jianghu pursed his lips as he listened to the conversations of the experts from the 3 major academies and the Holy Sea town. He, who had always been unconvinced and wanted to win back a city, was utterly terrified. While he was still thinking of fighting for the leadership position of the Demon Hunters Academy, Wang Xian had already become the leader of the 3 major academies and the Holy Sea town. Furthermore, when he saw that Wang Xian had directly crippled Haiwen, he immediately shrunk his head. Damn it, there were so many subordinates of an extraordinary level 8 powerhouse. If he was in Haiwen's shoes, he might have already died. Even his father might have been raped. He couldn't afford to offend him. He couldn't afford to offend him at all. Jianghu, come over here and apologize to Wang Xian. At this moment, his father's voice suddenly rang in his ears, causing him to be slightly stunned. Following that, a bitter smile appeared on his face. He knew that his father had to admit defeat. Regardless of whether he had offended the captain of the Ocean Cultivator Corps or not, at the very least, Wang Xian wasn't someone they could afford to offend. It was better for him to admit defeat and apologize as soon as possible. Jianghu didn't hesitate at all. With a move of his body, he flew directly toward Wang Xian. Chapter 1081. Chapter 1081, Before the Storm. Don't apologize to me. Think about how to explain to the academy about the students who were killed by you. In the sky above the ocean, Wang Xian looked at Director Chen and Jianghu who were standing in front of him and said expressionlessly. The death of the students of the Demon Hunter College had nothing to do with him. Just like the East Ocean College and the Ocean College, he wouldn't delve into it. Everything was a matter of the academy itself. To them, Wang Xian was just a passerby. It would not be long before he left the Demon Hunter College. Director Chen and Jianghu's expressions were a little ugly. He did not expect that Wang Xian would ignore them even if he came to apologize to them personally. However, when they recalled how Wang Xian dared to attack the son of an insightful void martial artist, they fell silent. Leave the command of the Demon Hunter College to student Wang Xian. We will definitely cooperate. Even in the face of Wang Xian's cold face, Director Chen still lowered his attitude and said respectfully. Okay. Wang Xian nodded his head lightly. The few instructors from the East Ocean Academy beside him had some understanding. So the reason why the Demon Hunters Academy suffered losses when they rushed here was because they didn't listen to Commander Wang's orders. No wonder. Commander Wang's insight is simply heaven-defying. His commanding ability is also very strong. I feel like he can see every angle. Some of the people following behind heard the conversation in front of them, and a look of realization appeared on their faces. Soon this matter spread to the people behind them. He crippled all of my cultivation, crippled all of my cultivation. I want to kill him, kill him. However, at this moment in Holy See Town, when Haiwen woke up from his coma and felt the energy in his body, a ferocious expression appeared on his face as he roared indignantly. Young Master Hai, please calm down first. When you return, the general will be able to completely heal your injuries. The old man by the side said with an ugly expression. Calm down? Others have already crippled me, how can I calm down? Haiwen stared at the old man with a ferocious expression. I want to kill him, kill him. The old man saw his condition and didn't dare to say anything. The young masters who were high and mighty were suddenly crippled. He who hadn't experienced any hardships, couldn't accept it at all. Where's Vice Regiment Commander Meng? Where's Vice Regiment Commander Meng? Haiwen suddenly stood up and stared at the old man with a ghastly pale face. Young Master Hai, I don't know whether Vice Regiment Commander Meng has returned or not. The old man shook his head and said with a bitter face. Let's go. Haiwen directly walked out. His body became anxious and he almost fell to the ground. The old man beside him hurriedly helped him up. This made his face even paler. He directly walked towards the mayor's mansion. When he had just arrived at the mayor's mansion, the members of the Wind Riding Squad happened to be walking towards him. However, at this moment, there were only about 3,000 people in the 5,000-man squad. Many of them were walking on the ground. It was obvious that the Wind Wildebeest had already been sacrificed. Walking at the front, there was a long wound on Vice Regiment Commander Meng's chest. The wound had already stopped bleeding, but it looked extremely serious. Oh. The old man from Ocean Academy was shocked when he saw the heavily injured Wind Riding Squadron. He hurriedly went forward to welcome them. Vice Regiment Commander Meng, you guys? We've encountered an ambush. Although we managed to kill the Scarlet Fish Craftsman beast, the Wind Riding Squadron has suffered heavy losses. Deputy Captain Meng's expression was extremely grave. When he looked at Haiwen, he was slightly stunned. Shaowen, your body? Uncle Meng. Haiwen's face revealed an aggrieved expression. He walked over with a pale face and said, Uncle Meng, you have to stand up for me. That Wang Xian actually ordered his men to cripple my cultivation. You have to avenge me. Wang Xian. Deputy Captain Meng extended his hand to check Haiwen's body. His expression was extremely unsightly. Shaowen, didn't you tell him your identity? I did. Haiwen nodded. His expression was a little distorted. I told him my father's identity, but he... All right. Even though he knows that he's the son of the captain, he still dares to make a move. Deputy Captain Meng's face revealed a ferocious aura. Coupled with the wounds on his body, he looked like a god of death. His eyes flashed with a cold, murderous intent. Shaowen, I'll settle this matter for you. Thank you, Uncle Meng. A pale smile appeared on Haiwen's face. His eyes were filled with excitement. I wonder how Deputy Captain Meng is doing. Wang Xian and the rest returned to Shanghai town. The president of the hiring association looked at the dark sky outside and said softly, there shouldn't be a big problem. After all, with the strength of the Riding Wind battle team, it should be easy for them to destroy a group of ferocious beasts. The long-bearded old man from the East Ocean Academy said in a deep voice. N? The president of the hiring association nodded. After all, the Riding Wind battle team was 1/4 of the strength of the Ocean Cultivator Corps. If they couldn't even annihilate a group of fierce beasts, how could they defend East Ocean City? I think that with Commander Wang commanding the battle from now on, Holy See Town can still be defended. Director Qian, who was at the side, smiled and flattered. As the crowd spoke, a few experts flew directly toward the mayor's residence. When they landed in front of the hall, they saw Deputy Commander Meng sitting in the center with injuries all over his body. Beside him sat a young man, Haiwen. The mayor was sitting in the lower seat and his expression was very ugly. Deputy Leader Meng, Mayor? The president of the hiring association walked over, cupped his hands and shouted. Take him down. However, Deputy Leader Meng's voice suddenly rang out. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In the surroundings, one figure after another attacked Wang Xian's position. Hee hee. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Behind him, 11 golden swordfish charged out directly. Their eyes were fixed on the 3 figures who had charged out. Boom. Deputy Captain Meng squinted his eyes slightly. He stood up and stared at Wang Xian coldly. Even though this young man had extraordinary insight, he had helped the Riding Wind battle team once not long ago. However, Haiwen was the son of his general and the only descendant. He dared to cripple the son of the general. No matter who he was, he would have to pay a terrible price. The aura of a half-step void interpretation was emitted directly, causing the expressions of everyone in the hall to change slightly. Deputy Leader Meng, the great calamity of Shanghai town is at hand. Aren't you guys being too cold-hearted by doing this? The mayor of Shanghai town, who was sitting at the side and said, also, does Deputy Leader Meng know what happened? Deputy Leader Meng, let's talk things over. Let's deal with the threat of Shanghai town first. The hiring association's leader saw Wang Xian's 11 subordinates standing beside him. His expression changed drastically as he said hurriedly, let's talk about it after we kill him. Haiwen stood up slowly and stared at Wang Xian with a ferocious expression. His eyes were filled with the excitement and malevolence of revenge. Chapter 1082. Chapter 1082, Killed and Left. In the main hall of the mayor's residence, the entire atmosphere became solemn. Haiwen stared at Wang Xian with a murderous look. Vice Captain Meng also stared at Wang Xian with a cold expression. The aura from his body suppressed the entire mayor's residence. Beside Wang Xian, the 11 golden swordfish all unleashed their extraordinary level 8 strength as they stared at Vice Captain Meng coldly. When the mayor, Jin Shenyuan, and the president of the hiring association saw this scene, they looked extremely embarrassed. Now that the Holy See town was facing the greatest crisis in its history, such a situation had occurred internally. Deputy Commander Meng, the ferocious beasts are about to reach the Holy See town. If the Holy See town is lost, I will definitely report everything to the king truthfully. At that time, even General Hai will have to bear the responsibility. Jin Shenyuan looked at the soldiers who were gathered around the Riding Wind battle team. His face was solemn as he stared at Deputy Captain Meng slowly. He stood up and said, shut up. He must die today. Haiwen roared with a ferocious look on his face. His eyes were fixed on Wang Xian. Deputy Captain Meng's cold eyes swept across the 11 experts around Wang Xian. He then looked at Jin Shenyuan and said, defend the city. There is an army of ocean cultivators here. Haha, a bunch of trash. They want to kill me. However, Wang Xian, who was standing in the middle and treated as a lamb waiting to be slaughtered, laughed out loud. He swept his gaze across the surroundings and landed on Haiwen. His eyes were filled with killing intent. Initially, I had already spared your life. However, you didn't cherish it. You dare to be arrogant in front of me? When Deputy Captain Meng saw how arrogant Wang Xian was, a look of disdain appeared on his face. He extended his arm and a wave of destructive energy shot towards him. You're courting death. Since you guys want to avenge him, I'll kill him first. Ah. Wang Xian laughed out loud. In an instant, a wave of darkness burst out from his body. The darkness instantly enveloped the entire hall and even the outside. Bang! Wang Xian's arm shook and transformed into a dragon claw. It went straight for Deputy Captain Meng's energy arm. The powerful collision caused Deputy Captain Meng's energy arm to dissipate. Oh no, he's very strong. When his strength collided with Wang Xian's, Deputy Captain Meng's expression changed slightly. He was actually able to block his attack head-on. Even though the attack was just a casual attack, it was difficult to block it without the strength of a level 9 extraordinary. However, at this moment he had fallen into the darkness and could not see anything. Supernatural powers, light and darkness. Wang Xian had only released darkness. With his current strength of a level 7 extraordinary, he could unleash the strength of a peak level 9 extraordinary even if he was in his human form. It was a piece of cake for him to block Deputy Leader Meng's attack. He could even tremble for a moment when facing the injured Deputy Leader Meng. However, Wang Xian didn't get entangled with him. With a thought, Haiwen, who was within the range of the supernatural ability, appeared beside him instantly. Wang Xian's palm grabbed Haiwen's neck directly. Ah, Uncle Meng, save me. The battle in an instant left Hai Wen completely dumbfounded. When he was plunged into darkness, he had no ability to resist since his cultivation was crippled. Bastard, let him go. Deputy Leader Meng's face was filled with shock and anger. He didn't expect Wang Xian to hide such terrifying strength. Damn it, he was just a young man. How could he unleash the strength of a level 9 extraordinaire? With his current condition, it would take some time to take him down. Furthermore, there were 11 top-notch level 8 extraordinaire powerhouses beside him. Let him go? I have already let him go today. He is seeking his own death. If not for the fact that Shanghai town is in danger now, all of you would have died. Wang Xian roared loudly. His voice spread across a radius of a few kilometers. The students from the 3 major academies and the people from Shanghai town who had just returned and were resting were slightly stunned when they heard this voice. What's going on? Holy shit, what's going on? Everyone immediately raised their heads. Some of the students even flew into the sky and looked towards the hall of the mayor's residence. Wang Xian, don't court death. Let him go quickly. Otherwise, our ocean cultivator army will definitely not let you go. Deputy Captain Meng shouted sternly when he saw Wang Xian grabbing Hai Wen. Haha, you guys didn't think of letting me off just now. Do you guys think that I will let him off this time? Wang Xian laughed out loud. His eyes were filled with killing intent as he stared at Hai Wen who was in front of him. This damn fellow had messed up his plan. No. I won't kill you. Don't kill me. No, I promise that I will not take revenge. Hai Wen felt the intense killing intent from Wang Xian and revealed a terrified expression. He shouted loudly again. Coward, do you think I will let you off twice? Wang Xian stared at Hai Wen coldly. With a wave of his hand, he threw it directly at Deputy Leader Meng. Die. Don't. No. Stop. Bang. The sound of an explosion was heard and Hai Wen's body exploded in midair. You deserve to die. Go to hell. Deputy Leader Meng looked at Hai Wen who had turned into a cloud of blood mist. He felt like his eyes were about to split open. His only son of his commanding officer had died in front of him. He could not absolve himself from the responsibility. Deputy Captain Meng, don't think that you can keep me here. Wang Xian waved his arm and lightning struck wood appeared in his hand. He waved his arm forward. Wood World Descent. Fire Dragon's Flame. Boom. Wang Xian did not hesitate to place the 2 supernatural powers in front of him. The terrifying Wood World descended and covered the entire sky above the mayor's residence. Following that, flames rose up. Deputy Captain Meng's expression changed slightly. With a shake of his arm, the yellow soil that filled the sky appeared out of thin air and headed toward the burning Wood World. What a terrifying supernatural ability. Is this the true strength of that young man? Dual attributes of wood and fire. The strength of this Commander Wang is so terrifying. He is not at the level 7 extraordinary like what others have said. The mayor, Jin Shenyuan, and the president of the hiring association were shocked as they watched the battle that erupted from Wang Xian. Their faces were filled with shock. What the fuck? Student Wang is so powerful. This Hai Wen was killed by Wang Xian. Damn, that guy was the one who asked the vice captain of the Ocean Corps to avenge him. Wang Xian killed him. How shameless. Why do I feel that the people from the Ocean Corps are such trash? When they were drifting in the Holy Sea town, they even wanted to have an internal war. Damn it, they deserve to die. This Deputy Captain Meng isn't a good person either. Wang Xian had helped them a lot not long ago. Around them, the crowd heard the sounds and attacks coming from the mayor's mansion. All of them said indignantly. In their eyes, Wang Xian was undoubtedly a hero. However, a hero had to be attacked by an evil person because this evil person had a deep background. This made everyone feel like they had a common enemy. Chapter 1083. Chapter 1083, was touched. Wang Xian, come over quickly. I'd hear. When everyone around was staring at the mayor's residence with furious faces. After Wang Xian released his attack, he left gracefully. He wasn't flustered at all when he faced Deputy Captain Meng. He could even play with them for a while. He was the only one who made a move earlier. The strange demon hiding in the surroundings had yet to make a move. Once the strange demon made a move, there was a high possibility that he could destroy the entire team of the Hurricane team. Just as Wang Xian was about to leave, The voice of a girl came from below. He was slightly stunned and looked down. Hurry up, it's too late. Jin Luyan waved her hand at Wang Xian anxiously and urged him. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment. He smiled and landed directly in the courtyard below. Ao Jian and the rest immediately hid in the surroundings. Dong 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 dong. When he landed in the courtyard, an urgent sound suddenly rang out. Wang Xian raised his head and looked at the tower. At this moment, the clock on the tower was ringing non-stop. Jin Liuyan's expression changed drastically when she heard the sound. Her face was filled with worry. The bell is ringing. The crisis of Shanghai town has arrived. You must hold on. Don't be like Shilai town. Otherwise we will be finished. Sounds of crying could be vaguely heard from outside. Hurry up, Wang Xian. Hide quickly. Jin Luyan walked to Wang Xian's side and pulled him as she said. Don't worry. They can't do anything to me. Wang Xian smiled and followed him into the room. Phew, that guy Haiwan is really a bad guy. However, he is the son of the general. You have to be careful in the future. Jin Luyan quickly closed the door and reminded Wang Xian with an unpleasant expression. She had a good impression of Wang Xian. However, she could tell that Wang Xian didn't have any feelings for her. However, this wasn't to stop them from becoming friends. Don't worry. With the sound now, could it be that the ferocious beasts have arrived? Wang Xian said to Jin Luyan. The sound of the horn bell was still ringing. It sounded urgent and urgent. Clearly, the situation outside could be very dangerous. Yes. The sound of the horn bell ringing 5 times represents the highest level of warning. Now that the horn bell is still ringing, Shanghai town might be in a life-and-death situation. Jin Luyan said with a pale face. Luyan. At this moment, an urgent voice came from outside. Jin Luyan's expression changed slightly. She looked at Wang Xian and whispered, It's my father. It's all right. Open the door. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment and shook his head. Jin Qinyuan had no ill intentions towards him. Furthermore, he was not in the same group as the ocean cultivators. If he found out that he was here, he would pretend that he didn't see him. All right. Jin Luyan nodded and opened the door. Luyan, you will be following me from now on. Jin Qinyuan's anxious voice was heard when the door was opened. However, he stopped mid-sentence when he saw Wang Xian inside. He frowned slightly and shook his head helplessly. You should escape quickly. If the Ocean Cultivator Army's commander arrives, you won't be able to escape even if you want to. Father, Vice Commander Meng didn't chase after us, right? Jin Luyan asked hurriedly. No. Jin Qinyuan's face turned cold when he mentioned Vice Commander Meng. If Vice Commander Meng didn't insist on avenging Haiwan, they would have greater confidence if the Holy Sea Town, the Riding Wind Battle Team, Wang Xian, and his subordinates were here to defend the city. Now that Wang Xian had been chased away, they had lost 1 level 9 and 11 level 8 extraordinaires. Although there were only 12 of them, their strength was equivalent to most of the strength of the Holy Sea Town. Now that they had been forcefully chased away, if the Holy Sea Town couldn't defend it this time, he would take a huge risk and report him to the king. Now that the fierce beasts have appeared at the East Gate, West Gate, South Gate and North Gate, they have completely surrounded Holy Sea Town. In this battle we can only win, not lose. The East Gate and North Gate have the most fierce beasts. The East Gate will be guarded by the Wind Riding Squad, while the other 3 gates will be guarded by the experts of Holy Sea Town. Luyan, you follow me. If anything happens, Father will take good care of you. Jin Qinyuan said with a sullen face. It was obvious that the current situation had exceeded his expectations. The ferocious beasts are attacking us now. When Wang Xian heard Jin Qinyuan's words, a hint of surprise and joy appeared on his face. He stood up immediately. They are attacking us. Moreover, the number of ferocious beasts has exceeded our expectations. We have already requested for reinforcements from Donghai City, but we have yet to receive a reply. Jin Qinyuan looked at Wang Xian and did not hide anything. Is that so? Wang Xian's eyes flickered. I will help you defend the city. What? Jin Qinyuan was slightly stunned. A hint of excitement flashed across his eyes as he looked at Wang Xian in disbelief. I will defend one of the city gates while the Riding Wind Battle Team will defend the East Gate. Leave the North Gate to me. Wang Xian's eyes lit up. Before the general of the Ocean Cultivators Army arrived, the ferocious beasts had already arrived. He could definitely use this period of time to harvest the corpses of a large group of ferocious beasts. In this way he could make up for some of his losses. It's true. Jin Qinyuan's face was filled with excitement. He couldn't believe it. Now that the Ocean Cultivator's army was trying to kill him, he even helped the Holy See to guard the city. This move touched Jin Qinyuan deeply. Of course it's true. Wang Xian nodded with a smile. Thank you, thank you. Jin Qinyuan couldn't help but grab Wang Xian's arm and said emotionally, I thank you on behalf of all the people of the Holy See town. Phew. As he said that, Jin Qinyuan took a deep breath. With slightly red eyes he said, if the leader of the Ocean Cultivators is really here, I will inform you immediately. When the time comes, you can escape immediately and help us defend the Holy See town. Even if I, Jin Qinyuan, offend General Tahai, I will not let anything happen to you. It was true love in the face of life and death. Look at this young man. Even when the Ocean Cultivators were chasing after them, he still helped them to defend the city. This action was worthy of the gratitude of the people of the entire Holy See town. This reminded him of the last time when the monsters attacked the city. He still rushed to the outermost part of the city and killed countless ferocious beasts. He was touched. Wang Xian looked at Jin Qinyuan, who was so touched that his eyes were slightly red. He was slightly stunned as he knew that he had misunderstood. However, it was fine if it was a misunderstanding. In order to kill the ferocious beasts, he was helping the Holy See town in disguise. Furthermore, with the mayor of the Holy See town providing him with information, he would be able to avoid the intruders if they came. There's no need. The Holy See town is half my home. Wang Xian smiled faintly. Thank you. Jin Qinyuan bowed deeply and looked at him. Commander Wang, let's go out. Everyone from the Riding Wind battle team is already at the East Gate. Let's go to the North Gate. Okay. Chapter 1084. Chapter 1084. Listen to my command. There are so many bone scarabs, at least hundreds of thousands of them. Moreover, there are tens of thousands of green heron fire beasts in the sky. We can see a lot of beasts above Transcendent Rank 6 at a glance. Can we defend it? If we can't defend it, we're finished. Right now, the 4 city gates are all attacked by beasts. We have to defend it. Otherwise this time, it won't be like Shilai Town, where 600,000 to 700,000 people will escape. If Holy See Town is breached, millions of people will die. I heard that it's a group of ferocious beasts controlled by the Blood Savage Beast. They are trying to devour our blood to evolve themselves. At this moment, at the East Gate, the city wall was filled with countless people. All the experts in Holy See Town were gathered at the East Gate. Looking at the dense ferocious beasts coming from thousands of meters ahead, everyone's faces were filled with shock. FUCK, if I had known earlier, I wouldn't have accepted this mission of Holy See Town. Some of the mercenary groups that came from East Sea City also frowned when they saw this scene. Their faces were solemn. There were too many ferocious beasts, and the level of the ferocious beasts was far beyond everyone's expectations. Those mercenary groups that accepted the mission had a regretful look on their faces. It should be fine. With the experts from the Riding Wind battle team and the Half-Step Void Interpretation Deputy Commander of the Ocean Legion, defending the city shouldn't be a problem. Some people comforted themselves in their hearts. FUCK, Commander Wang actually left. If Commander Wang and his subordinates stayed behind, it would definitely be a powerful fighting force. Yeah, just now, Commander Wang exploded out with the strength of a rank 9 Transcendent and directly resisted Deputy Commander Meng's attack. His strength was extremely terrifying. If there was a Commander Wang, the strength of defending the city would increase by a lot. I really didn't expect that the Ocean Cultivator Corps would do such a thing for their own selfish desires. Fuck. Commander Wang is here to help our Holy See Town. Moreover, he seems to be a member of our Holy See Town. Now he wants to escape. At a place on the city wall, more than 10 experts of Holy See Town said angrily. What's going on? What happened? Who's Commander Wang? The other people on the city wall heard their conversation and asked curiously. Without hesitation, the experts of St. C Town told them everything. FUCK, he's so fucking arrogant. After killing 4 people, he still dares to threaten the commander. In the end, he even asked the deputy commander of the Ocean Corps to take revenge for him. This is too shameless. I didn't expect the Ocean Corps to do such a thing. FUCK, Commander Wang killed well. This arrogant guy should be killed. However, this ocean core is really not human. Keep your voice down. The people of the ocean core are still down there. The people were talking indignantly. Soon the news spread around. Soon, most people learned about this matter. At this moment, some students of the 3 academies on the city wall were very dissatisfied with the actions of the Ocean Cultivator Army. Even the students of the Ocean Academy began to waver in their faith. Would they join such an army in the future? However, no one dared to speak loudly, for fear of being heard by the Ocean Cultivator Army outside the city wall. After all, they were still needed to defend the city. At the West Gate, the South Gate, and the North Gate, news of this matter spread, and many people's faces were filled with anger. Facing such an arrogant rich second generation, no one didn't hate them. At the same time, the ocean cultivators who had helped the enemy were also condemned by them. Everyone concentrate and prepare to face the enemy. Behind us is our home. If we lose, our children and our families will become the food of the fierce beasts. We must defend Holy Sea Town and fight. At the North Gate, the president of the hiring association looked at the densely packed ferocious beasts and shouted loudly. Everyone immediately stopped their condemnation and looked forward. Their eyes were filled with nervousness and determination. The mayor is here. At this moment, the voice of a city guard came from behind. Wang Xian, Jin Shenyuan and the rest flew directly to the position of the president of the hiring association. It's Commander Wang. It's Commander Wang. Why is Commander Wang here? Isn't he? What? He's the Commander Wang that you guys are talking about? The position of the North Gate was filled with people from Shanghai Town and Shilai Town who had fled here. When they saw Jin Shenyuan and Wang Xian arriving, their eyes landed on Wang Xian and they revealed a look of surprise. Commander Wang Yu. The president of the hiring association looked at Wang Xian and spoke with some respect. He then looked at Jin Shenyuan. Commander Wang is a member of Shanghai Town and is willing to fight for Shanghai Town. If there are any other situations, Commander Wang will leave immediately. Everyone pay attention. Commander Wang is an expert at Transcendent Level 9 and his 11 subordinates are also at Transcendent Level 8. With his help, we will definitely be able to defend our home. Jin Shenyuan said with a hidden meaning. Thank you, Commander Wang. Thank you very much. On the city wall, everyone looked at Wang Xian with a face full of gratitude as they spoke loudly. Wang Xian was slightly ashamed. He came to Shanghai Town for a large number of ferocious beast corpses. He didn't expect them to thank him so much. He felt slightly ashamed. He looked at the front of the city wall. All the people of Shanghai Town were standing behind the city wall. They were looking at the battle with pleading faces. The 700,000 to 800,000 people in the city walked out and stood there silently. It was a life and death battle. Listen to my command. I, Wang Xian, will guard the North Gate. It will not be broken. Those who are good at close combat, follow me out of the city to kill the enemy. Those who are good at supporting, stand below the city wall. Those who are good at long-range attacks, stand on the city wall. Wang Xian moved his body and flew into the sky outside. He shouted softly. 11 golden swordfish immediately stood by his side and looked at the ferocious beast race that was slowly approaching. Yes. The president of the hiring association shouted with excitement. Follow the king's command and charge. Defend our Holy Sea Town. Kill. I'm invincible. Follow the king's command. Behind him, many warriors who were at least at Transcendent Level 3 flew out of the city. They stood on the ground and shouted loudly. Wang Xian revealed a smile on his face as he looked ahead. His eyes sparkled with a strange luster. The first wave of ferocious beasts, wood-attributed ferocious beasts. Their weakness lies in the purple spots at the bottom of their necks. Wang Xian looked over and immediately saw the weakness of the wood-attributed ferocious beasts. He shouted loudly, "Get ready, fight." Yes. It wasn't just the 5 species of ferocious beasts that attacked Shanghai Town. There were about 10 of them, which was far beyond Shanghai Town's expectations. The wood devil was a type of wood-type ferocious beast that didn't belong to the aquatic species. More than 100,000 wood devils were rushing towards Shanghai Town with loud noises. Chapter 1085. Chapter 1085, Strategized. Get ready for battle. Get ready for battle. Get ready for battle. At the same time, Roars could be heard from the 4 city gates of Shanghai town. The ferocious beasts were already in front of them. The battle had begun. The people of Shanghai town heaved a sigh of relief. The west gate and the south gate had the fewest ferocious beasts. Shanghai town had a defensive formation. Under the formation, the weak ferocious beasts could not break through the city gates and enter the town. Long-range attack, kill. At the north gate, Wang Xian looked at the ferocious beasts 1,000 meters away and ordered loudly. Kill? An earth-shattering sound of killing rang out. Everyone who was standing on the city wall of Shanghai town was blushing red. Everyone raised their staffs. Dense energy gathered towards the city wall. Red flames, blue water swords, green wind blades. Long-range attacks covered the thorny wood demon thousands of meters away. It was overwhelming. Although the people of Holy See town were relatively weak, there were more people guarding the city. Among 1.7 million to 800,000 people, 400,000 to 500,000 had reached transcendence. Among them, there were nearly 100,000 who were above transcendence level 1. There were also tens of thousands of people at the north gate. The attacks launched by tens of thousands of people also caused great damage to the Thornwood demons. The Thornwood demons were the first wave of ferocious beasts that came to seek death. Most of them were at level 2 or 3 of the extraordinary realm. Continue, don't stop. Wang Xian stood in the air and commanded loudly. After a round of attacks, at least tens of thousands of Thornwood demons were killed. However, these Thornwood demons were fearless as they attacked Shanghai town. The attacks on the city wall continued. In just 20 seconds, 70,000 to 80,000 thorny wood demons' corpses had fallen in front of them. However, at this moment, the thorny wood demons had also charged over. The thorny wood demons had 2 black legs, and their upper bodies were strangely shaped like tree demons. The thorny wood demons at the back were slightly stronger than the ones who had just sent themselves to their deaths, and they were usually around rank 3. Use supportive attacks and supernatural powers on the warriors at the front. Charge. When the wood devil was 500 meters away from the city wall, Wang Xian ordered loudly. Yes. A group of warriors who were good at supportive attacks stood at the bottom of the city wall and immediately charged at the warriors at the front. They released supportive energy onto their bodies. Charge. The 5,000 to 6,000 warriors charged at the wood devil without any hesitation. They held their weapons in their hands and charged at the wood devil at the front. Each of them had water currents and earth armor buffs on their bodies, allowing their combat strength to far exceed their usual level. Boom, boom, boom. At this moment, the 11 golden swordfish did not hesitate at all and directly charged towards the center of the formation. Charge into the formation and break the formation of the ferocious beasts. 11 golden swords descended from the sky and directly opened up an empty space in the group of ferocious beasts. With a single strike, at least 5,000 to 6,000 thorny wood demons were killed. Kill? The people from Shanghai town also clashed with the thorny wood demons. Rays of sword rays slashed forward. The thorny wood demons waved their arms and numerous thorns attacked the experts from Shanghai town. The bitter battle began. Wang Xian stood in the sky and watched the battle quietly. This was only the first wave of ferocious beasts. He didn't make a move but watched the entire battlefield. As the battle progressed, the people of Shanghai town below relied on the support of the people behind them and their own powerful strength to kill the Thornwood demons one by one. The Thornwood demons fell one after another. If Yinshan is here with her special sound wave support, I'm afraid this group of ferocious beasts wouldn't dare to attack. Wang Xian stood in the sky and thought of the powerful sound wave support from Tang Yinshan and the dolphins. That kind of support came from the mind. Not only could it increase one's strength, but it could also reduce the enemy's attacks. The group of people below the city wall didn't have any professional training support. On the contrary, they were much weaker. Ha! Wang Xian looked down and moved his arm slightly. At the spot where he placed it, a middle-aged man was fighting against the dozen wood devils in front of him. A thorn fell on his body, causing him to stagger. The earth armor that was supporting him from the back was directly destroyed. His expression changed slightly. However, at this moment, a thorn suddenly appeared from behind and attacked his chest. His expression changed drastically, and despair appeared in his eyes. It's over. Bang. However, at this moment, a wooden shield floated in front of him, completely blocking his body. He was slightly stunned and hope of surviving appeared on his face. He sensed the source of the energy and raised his head, his face filled with gratitude. "Thank you, Commander Wang, for saving my life." He roared and continued to fight with a face full of fighting spirit. "Fight! Fight!" Wang Xian stood in the sky. The lightning-struck wood in his hand would point downwards from time to time and release wooden shields. "Thank you, sir, for saving my life." "Ah, thank you, sir. Fight." In a war, especially a war against 100,000 or even 100,000 ferocious beasts, one would die if one was not careful. This was a very normal situation. However, with the terrifying insight of the light and dark fire dragon eyes in the sky, Wang Xian was able to detect the people who were in danger in time. At the moment, Wang Xian had the void interpretation level lightning strike wood in his hand. If he wanted to release the wood shield to help them defend, he could do it in an instant. Therefore, every life-threatening person was saved easily by Wang Xian. Commander Wang is so awesome. He is able to control the entire battlefield while standing in the sky. He is able to accurately save every life-threatening person. He is too strong. Such terrifying control over his strategy. Commander Wang is simply too amazing. Not a single one of our men died. I'm impressed. He is really too awesome. With Commander Wang around, we are really lucky. We can withstand any kind of ferocious beasts attacking the city. Lord Wang and his men are also very powerful. They have already killed 20,000 to 30,000 ferocious beasts. On the city wall, the people of Holy Sea Town were excited when they saw this scene. They felt that as long as Wang Xian was here, Holy Sea Town would definitely be able to defend itself. Jin Qinyuan stood on the city wall and looked at Wang Xian in shock. Standing in the void, he could save the people who almost died with just a casual touch. This kind of control gave him a feeling of being able to dominate the world. He could not do this at all. Perhaps only an expert at the insightful void level could do this. However, at this moment, the battle continued at the East Gate, West Gate, and South Gate. However, the situation there was a little more intense. Even if the cavalry squadron was at the East Gate, they were still facing the place where the attacks were the fiercest. They suffered heavy losses. In the first wave of attacks, they had lost at least a few hundred people. Although a few hundred people weren't much, this was only the beginning, the weakest beginning. Chapter 1086. Chapter 1086, guarded the city by himself. Since the Thornwood Devil has been destroyed, everyone should return to the bottom of the city wall to rest. Consume the pills immediately. All the support that can alleviate fatigue should be given to the warriors. The ferocious beasts are approaching from behind. Everyone be prepared. Don't let your guard down. The further you go, the stronger the ferocious beasts are and the faster their attack speed will be. It will be much more difficult for me to save all of you. No one can let their guard down. Otherwise, death will await all of you. Wang Xian stood in the sky and looked at the thorny wood demon who was about to be killed. He told everyone. Yes. The group of people who were fighting in front of them had an excited look on their faces. After witnessing Wang Xian's strength, all of them responded respectfully. They immediately came to the bottom of the city wall and started to recover. A group of people who were supporting them released water energy, light energy, and wood energy to relieve their fatigue and help them recover. In addition, with the help of elixirs, the group of people who had only fought for more than 10 minutes could recover very quickly. However, Wang Xian was not optimistic. The Impala demon was just the beginning. Looking into the distance, Wang Xian narrowed his eyes. A group of blood-red figures appeared in the distance. Their blood-red bodies were slightly decomposed, and one could see fresh blood flowing outside. Wang Xian revealed an astonished expression. Blood Shadow Walker. His pupils constricted slightly. Wang Xian only found out about Blood Shadow Walker after he had a better understanding of Blood Barbarian demonic beasts. Blood Shadow Walker was equivalent to weaker Blood Barbarian demonic beasts. These Blood Shadow Walkers could absorb fresh blood to greatly enhance their strength. In other words, when they fought in pools of blood, they could greatly enhance their recovery ability and were extremely difficult to deal with. However, these Blood Shadow Walkers were extremely rare. Unexpectedly, there were about 70,000 to 80,000 of them on the battlefield. Behind them there are blood savage beasts controlling them. 1, 2, 3, 5 of them. All of them are at Transcendent Level 9. Wang Xian looked over and mumbled, other than the 5 blood savage beasts at Transcendent Level 9, there should be more than 10 Blood Shadow Walkers at Transcendent Level 8. There were also 20 to 30 Level 7 Blood Shadow Walkers, and hundreds of level 6 Blood Shadow Walkers. Their strength was too terrifying. If it weren't for me, it would be impossible to defend with the strength of Shanghai town. However, the position of the North Gate is not the main battlefield. The most aggressive one is the East Gate. What kind of terrifying ferocious beasts and demonic beasts would be at the East Gate? Wang Xian thought to himself. However, he shook his head immediately. His main objective was to hunt for ferocious beasts. If he could collect all the corpses of these Blood Shadow Walkers, he would have profited greatly this time. The people who came to attack the city this time will be very strong. There will be 9 Transcendents at level 5, 15 at level 8, 31 at level 7, and more than 200 at level 6. Wang Xian's voice spread across a radius of a few kilometers. When everyone heard this number, their faces turned pale. Even Jin Qinyuan was slightly stunned. A look of despair appeared on his face. No. No way. This is clearly not the main battlefield. How could there be such a terrifying ferocious beast here? It's over, it's over. Oh my God, our Holy See town is completely finished. In an instant, everyone's faces were filled with panic and despair. Those ordinary people in Holy See town who hadn't even reached the Transcendence level instantly felt their vision go black and their hearts were filled with fear. Their strength hadn't reached the Transcendence level yet. It would be difficult for them to escape. We can fight. When Wang Xian sensed the despair on the faces of the people behind him, he raised his eyebrows slightly and spoke with fighting spirit. We can fight. It was only 2 words, but his tone was filled with strong confidence. Everyone was slightly stunned. They looked at Wang Xian hurriedly with excitement in their eyes. Wang Xian held the lightning strike wood in his hand. An azure dragon slowly emerged from the lightning strike wood and circled around his body. In everyone's eyes, this scene was akin to a god descending to save them. We can fight. Commander Wang said we can fight. Fight. Commander Wang could have escaped, but he still stayed here. If he said he can fight, he will definitely fight. Fight, fight, fight. Everyone had excited expressions on their faces as they roared loudly. For a moment, everyone on the city wall roared loudly with their faces flushed red. Stand in battle formation. Their voices resounded throughout the world. This was the power that Wang Xian had brought them. The Blood Shadow Walker has arrived. This time the opponent is very strong. Everyone don't split up. Look after each other and cooperate with each other. This time I can't save all of you anymore. Next, I will launch the first wave of attacks. All of you follow closely behind. Wang Xian shouted softly and moved his body. He floated thousands of meters in front of him and stood there. 11 golden swordfish stood at the side, waiting for the arrival of the Blood Shadow Walkers. Get ready. Jin Qinyuan's eyes revealed a determined look. He moved his body and flew down. Mayor, your injuries haven't healed yet. The president of the hiring association saw Jin Qinyuan flying over. His expression changed slightly and he said hurriedly. If we don't fight now, when will we wait? Jin Qinyuan's face was filled with fighting spirit. He stood in front of the group of warriors and shouted, Fight! Fight! The people of Holy See town behind him were also filled with excitement. They knew that the mayor was severely injured. Now that he was able to fight alongside them, everyone was touched. Hee. Wang Xian, who was floating in the sky, smiled faintly. If they couldn't expose the dragon thorns, they would be able to kill all the 70,000 to 80,000 Blood Shadow Walkers by themselves. However, even if the strange demon doesn't make a move, they can still fight. Wang Xian revealed a confident expression. Roar, roar, roar. The Blood Shadow Walkers let out roars that shook the sky. Coupled with their terrifying bodies, everyone felt a chill in their hearts. At the back, 5 blood savage demonic beasts were hiding among them, controlling them. 70 to 80,000 Blood Shadow strollers stared coldly in the direction of Holy See town, carrying the smell of blood as they quickly walked over. They stepped on the thorny wood devil's corpse and blood, which made them even more excited. At this moment, everyone on the city wall held their breaths, staring at the fierce beasts charging at them. Everyone clenched their teeth and held their weapons tightly. The wood world has descended. Spirit enchantment. At this moment, Wang Xian's voice rang out. The lightning struck wood in his hand emitted a dazzling bluish-green glow. The glow enveloped the dark sky. Buzz. He unleashed his full strength. Within a radius of 2,000 meters, trees that were 100 meters tall appeared out of thin air. There were over 1,000 trees and every one of them was a towering tree. Under everyone's gazes, those trees seemed to open their eyes and come to life. Boom, boom, boom. They released a terrifying might as they directly faced 70,000 to 80,000 blood shadow strollers. What kind of divine ability is this? It's so terrifying. Commander Wang is trying to block an army of 10,000 horses by himself. Block an entire city by himself. Chapter 1087. Chapter 1087, was guarding a city by himself. He was defending a city by himself. He was facing an army by himself. The descent of the wood world and the spirit enchantment had always been Wang Xian's most powerful combination of abilities. Now, with the addition of the lightning strike wood in his hands. The lightning strike wood was at the void interpretation level. The attack of the wood attribute was imbued with the lightning attribute. This time, the thousands of trees that descended from the wood world were emitting a faint lightning glow. Possessing spirits could give them intelligence. Even if their intelligence was not high, under the guidance of Wang Xian, they could double the power of the descent of the wood world. In front of the north gate, after the arrival of the thousands of trees that looked like tree demons, everyone had shocked expressions on their faces. The trees waved their densely packed branches and attacked the blood shadow walkers. Roar! The 70,000 to 80,000 blood shadow walkers showed no fear when they saw the incoming tree ants. They leaped up one by one. The dark energy carried a strong corrosive force and attacked the group of tree ants. Attack! Wang Xian, who was standing in the air, pointed his lightning strike wood finger. Countless branches were waved at the blood shadow walkers. The weakest blood shadow walker at the forefront had the strength of a level 3 extraordinary. However, these trees were, after all, Wang Xian's strongest attack. It was almost comparable to a strike of a half-step void interpretation. At the instant when all the trees attacked, the blood shadow walker at the forefront died in large numbers under the countless branches. With just one attack, at least 7,000 to 8,000 blood shadow walkers had died. There were also a few thousand who were severely injured. Bang bang bang. While the blood shadow strollers were panicking, thousands of trees that were hundreds of meters tall waved their branches again. Roar roar roar. At this moment, a sharp sound came from behind the blood shadow strollers. This sound instantly calmed all the blood shadow strollers down, and their eyes that were almost dripping blood revealed a cold light. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Tens of thousands of blood shadow rambler directly jumped up, toward a group of trees attack. After all, the descent of wood is a supernatural power of Wang Xian, in terms of flexibility is somewhat inadequate. However, under so many trees, the second attack still easily killed 3,000 to 4,000 blood shadow walkers. Ho ho ho. The angry roar came again, and tens of thousands of blood shadow walkers trembled, and black raindrops attacked the trees. Bzzz bzzz. The black raindrops landed on the trees and made an uncomfortable sound. When the trees were under a certain amount of attack, they slowly dissipated. This caused the blood barbarian demonic beast that was controlled from behind to roar once again. More blood shadow walkers attacked the trees one by one. This is the time. Wang Xian smiled when he saw the tens of thousands of blood shadow walkers attacking the trees one by one. Flame of the Fire Dragon. A terrifying flame burst out from his hand and was released directly at the location where the wood world was descending. Wood-aided fire. The moment the flame landed on the wood world, a huge fire rose up. Hiss. Roar. 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 The blood shadow walker who rushed into the wood world to destroy the trees was instantly covered in flames. The terrifying flames directly engulfed over 10,000 blood shadow walkers. How terrifying. Oh my god, wood and fire dual attributes. Too strong, too strong. Commander Wang's attacks are simply too strong. These two attacks from Commander Wang directly killed at least 30,000 blood shadow walkers, and almost half of them were wiped out. When the flames shone on the group of people on the city wall, everyone had shocked expressions on their faces. The two attacks had drowned out nearly 30,000 blood shadow striders. Almost half of them had been killed. Everyone looked at Wang Xian like he was a demon. Human, you deserve to die. A brutal voice came from the back. The voice was hoarse and didn't sound like a human. Wang Xian stared at the back with a cold expression. He raised the lightning strike wood in his hand and shouted, "Fight! Fight!" The people of Shanghai town behind them were excited. They raised their weapons and shouted loudly. Wang Xian's 2 attacks had helped them to finish off half of the Blood Shadow Ramblers. If they couldn't hold on any longer, they would be useless. "Ao Jian, all of you, charge with me!" Wang Xian shouted softly. His eyes locked onto the 5 blood barbarian demonic beasts behind him. With a leap he charged towards the back. Roar! Roar! One by one, the Blood Shadow Walkers saw Wang Xian flying towards the back from the sky. They leaped up and attacked him. Thousands of Blood Shadow Walkers flew up. Ao Jian and the rest waved their arms and 11 golden sword rays slashed at him. Clang! 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 The corpse of the Blood Shadow Walkers, which had been split into 2, fell to the ground. "Kill him!" A brutal voice came from behind. A group of Blood Shadow Walkers who were at Transcendent Level 8, attacked Wang Xian and the rest. At the same time, the 5 Blood Savage Beasts who were at Transcendent Level 9, also attacked. Whoosh! The 5 Blood Savage Beasts were like ghosts. A blood shadow flashed and appeared behind Wang Xian in an instant. Its sharp claws attacked directly at his back. Humph! Wang Xian snorted coldly. His arm changed instantly and turned into a dragon claw that was 2 to 3 meters in size. The dragon claw collided with the blood barbarian demonic beast's attack. Boom! After the terrifying collision, the body of the blood barbarian demonic beast was sent flying backward. Wang Xian's eyes flashed. A stream of flames landed on the body of the blood barbarian demonic beast instantly. This was the flame of endless wood. Ah! The flames landed on its body, causing it to let out a miserable cry. The blood on its body churned, but it was unable to extinguish the terrifying flames. Bzzz bzzz. The demonic beast's face was filled with fear as the blood on its body churned. A large amount of blood wrapped around the flames and fell to the ground. Only then did it manage to escape the burning of the endless wood flames. Blood Demon Shadow. At this moment, the blood shadows that filled the sky suddenly appeared around Wang Xian. It was the supernatural ability of the Blood Demon Beast, Blood Demon Shadow. The Blood Demon Beast excelled in speed. Under the influence of the supernatural ability, Blood Demon Shadow, the 5 blood demons drew out tens of thousands of blood demon shadows and instantly surrounded him. A faint smile appeared on Wang Xian's face as he sized up his surroundings with his bewitching eyes. A blood demon shadow was attacking him, and Wang Xian acted as if he was going to receive it. However, a figure appeared silently behind him and attacked him. Assassinating? The strange demon can be considered your ancestor. A hint of disdain appeared in Wang Xian's eyes. He clawed at the back with his dragon claws. Go to hell, gold-shattering void. The dragon claws instantly turned golden in color. Gold-shattering void could be used for single-target attacks as well as area of effect attacks. As if can tear the void of the golden flash past. Chapter 1088. Chapter 1088, was guarding the city by himself. Ah! With a miserable scream, the blood barbarian demonic beast, who was at Transcendent Level 9, widened his eyes. His eyes were filled with fear. He could not believe it. He could not believe how Wang Xian had discovered him. The blood shadows that filled the sky were one of the most powerful abilities of the blood barbarian demonic beasts. Humph! Wang Xian waved his dragon claw and his body fell downwards. There was a hole the size of a human head on his chest. The single-target attack of the gold-splitting void penetrated his body directly. Kill him, kill him. Seeing one of their comrades being killed, the other 4 blood savage demonic beasts roared furiously. All the blood shadows emitted the same sound, causing one to feel dizzy. Blood Demon Cross Kill. At this moment, a terrifying killing intent descended once again. The cross kill came from 4 different directions. The dark red cross that contained a powerful demonic aura was like the symbol of the cross of judgment. The space seemed to be filled with a vacuum. Accompanied by the blood demon cross kill were 4 ferocious and terrifying figures of 2 meters in size. Their sharp claws emitted a thick bloody stench as they attacked. These blood savage demonic beasts are attacking one after another. An ordinary level 9 extraordinary expert wouldn't be able to withstand them at all. Wang Xian looked at the continuous terrifying attacks with a look of astonishment on his face. No wonder Vice Commander Meng had a long wound on his chest. If he were to face 10 or so transcendent level 9 blood demon beasts, he would be severely injured if he wasn't careful. 4 blood demon cross attacks arrived at the same time with the double killing intent behind them. Wang Xian stood there. The moment the blood demon cross attacks came, they penetrated through his body. The 4 blood barbarian demonic beasts were also a little stunned. Their attack stopped instantly. Die. The lightning strike wood in Wang Xian's hand emitted a blue-green glow. The lightning surrounded it and drew a streak of lightning. It attacked a blood barbarian demonic beast directly. Roar. 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 The blood barbarian demonic beast couldn't dodge in time and sank into its head. The second blood barbarian demonic beast was dead. Whoosh. 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 Thorns extended out from the lightning strike wood and attacked the other 3 blood barbarian demonic beasts. At the same time, when Wang Xian was fighting against the 5 blood barbarian demonic beasts, the battle on the battlefield had erupted completely. Ao Jian and the 11 people were directly defending against the 15 blood shadow walkers who were at transcendent level 8. The 11 people had unified supernatural powers and unified sword moves. They were not at a disadvantage when fighting against the 15 blood shadow walkers. Ao Jian even used his supernatural powers to take them by surprise and directly killed a blood shadow walker who was at transcendent level 8. At the location closest to the north gate, Mayor Jin Qianyuan and the president of the Hiring Association had already led the people of Holy See Town to engage in an intense battle with the blood shadow walkers. However, the people of Holy See Town were completely suppressed by the over 40,000 blood shadow walkers. Although Jin Qianyuan was injured, it was still very easy for him to unleash the strength of a transcendent level 8. The president of the Hiring Association was also a transcendent level 8 powerhouse. All the transcendent level 8 blood shadow walkers were held back by Ao Jian and the rest. The 5 blood savage beasts were also held back by Wang Xian. When they were faced with the blood shadow walkers who were not at level 8 transcendence, they did not feel much pressure. Jin Qianyuan and the president of the Mercenary Association were slaughtering the beasts in all directions. They were slaughtering the beasts one by one in a frenzy. On the city wall, the group of people were crazily launching attacks at the ground. The sky was filled with attacks, drowning the blood shadow walkers one by one. It's all thanks to Commander Wang. Otherwise we would be finished. Haha, this is too easy. Commander Wang and his men are defending against the top-tier siege beasts. The mayor and the others are much easier. Did you see that? Commander Wang has already killed 2 transcendent level 9 beasts. He's too powerful. On the city wall, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. With Commander Wang at the north gate, they had completely defended it. Everyone had a happy expression on their faces. Boss. However, at this moment, everyone felt as if the entire Holy See Town had been shaken. In an instant, the noise on the entire city wall stopped. Even Jin Qianyuan and the others, who were slaughtering the blood shadow strollers below, had a slight change in expression as they hurriedly looked behind them. What's the situation? Why do I feel as if the entire city has been shaken? A young man revealed a shocked expression. He suddenly had a bad premonition in his heart. It's a formation. It's the great city-guarding formation of St. C Town. A powerful attack has landed on the formation. An old man exclaimed with a face full of shock. Boss. When the old man finished speaking, the entire St. C Town trembled once again. Someone is attacking the formation. What's going on? Could it be that there are city gates that aren't guarded? What's happening at the other city gates? What's going on? The array formation trembled twice in a row, causing fear to appear on everyone's faces. The array formation was the last line of defense of the entire Holy See Town, and it was also the last desperate situation. This meant that the city gates were lost, which meant that Holy See Town had reached its most critical moment. This made everyone feel a deep fear. Once a city gate was breached, hundreds of thousands of fierce beasts would enter the city. This was a huge disaster for everyone. Retreat, retreat. At this moment, at the east gate, Vice Regiment Commander Meng's face was filled with fear as he shouted at the cavalrymen. In front of them, there were hundreds of thousands of wandering sea demons. Behind the wandering sea demons, there were more than 30 blood barbaric demon beasts floating. 5 of the blood savage beasts stood in the center. Even if they were thousands of meters away, they could still feel the strong smell of blood on their bodies. 5 half-step void interpretation blood savage beasts, close to 30 rank 9 and rank 8 extraordinary blood savage beasts. In addition to the powerful wandering sea monsters, each wandering sea monster's strength was no less than rank 3 extraordinary, and there were even many rank 7, 8 and rank 9 extraordinary beasts. Disaster. This was a disaster that Holy Sea Town couldn't resist. Even the Riding Wind Battle Team of the Ocean Corps fled to Holy Sea Town under the order of Vice Commander Meng. At this moment, the Riding Wind Battle Team only had about 2,000 people. There are too many powerful demon beasts. We can't resist them. We can't resist them at all. The students and instructors of the 3 academies turned pale when they saw the Riding Wind Battle Team returning to Holy Sea Town. They walked over and shouted, "What should we do? What should we do? Have the reinforcements from East Sea City arrived yet? Attack. Don't stop attacking." Vice Regiment Commander Meng, who had returned to the city wall, didn't reply immediately when he heard their anxious words. Instead he shouted loudly. He looked at the people from the 3 academies and said with a gloomy face, "I haven't received any reply yet. I will ask for reinforcements." Chapter 1089. Chapter 1089, Abandon the city and left. Attack. There are millions of our own kind behind us. Behind us is our home. Our parents and children attack. We must not let them rush in. Hoarse shouts rang out from the city walls at the east gate. Below them there was no one outside. Because they could not defend the city, it was suicidal for them to stay outside at this time. The size of the ferocious beast was completely beyond the expectations of everyone in Holy Sea Town, and it was also beyond the expectations of the Ocean Cultivator Corps. The bone scarabs that attacked the city at the beginning were very powerful, but they were all killed by the Ocean Cultivator Corps, the people from the 3 academies, and the mercenary corps that came to Holy Sea Town to carry out their mission. However, what they didn't expect was that the second wave of beasts arrived one after another. The wandering sea monsters had 6 legs, a long pointed head and a long tail. There was a long sharp thorn at the end of the tail, and each of them was extremely powerful. When the wandering sea monsters appeared, everyone at the east gate had solemn expressions on their faces. However, when they hadn't been fighting for long, terrifying blood-savage beasts suddenly appeared. More than 30 extremely powerful blood-savage beasts instantly defeated all the people guarding the east gate. Even Vice Commander Meng immediately ordered all the soldiers to return to the city wall. Reporting to General, reporting to City Lord Lei, 5 half-step void interpretation level blood-savage beasts have appeared outside of Holy Sea Town, and close to 30 rank 8 or rank 9 extraordinary blood-savage beasts. With our strength we can't withstand them at all. We need to send out void interpretation level experts. Please give US instructions, General. On the city wall, Deputy Commander Meng kept on contacting with the communication stone plate. What are the chances of void interpretation level beasts appearing? Not long after, Deputy Commander Meng received a reply from City Lord Lei on the communication stone plate. It is impossible to predict whether there are void interpretation level blood savage beasts behind us. The blood savage beast race controls too many fierce beasts. According to Holy Sea Town's current defense, they can at most resist for another 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, Holy Sea Town's array formation will be broken. Deputy Commander Meng took a deep breath and quickly said, "Is the guy who killed Xiaowen still there?" At this time, Deputy Commander Meng suddenly received a reply from his superior, the General. Deputy Commander Meng was slightly silent when he saw this message. In the eyes of the experts, the lives of millions of people in a town were not even worth his son's life. They should have escaped. Deputy Commander Meng replied directly, "In addition, General, the blood barbaric demon beasts attacked the city with a large number of ferocious beasts. The 4 city gates were all guarded by ferocious beasts. They wanted to kill everyone in Holy Sea Town and suck the blood of everyone to improve their strength. The weak would have a hard time escaping. If it was too late, the wind riding squad might have been left here." A middle-aged man in the military camp of East Sea City was silent with a dark face. 3 corpses were lying in front of him. Blood had already covered the ground, making the room extremely bloody. The middle-aged man drank a glass of wine. "Did you run away? No matter where you run to, I will not let you go if you dare to kill my son." The middle-aged man's eyes were extremely indifferent. He looked at the communication stone plate in front of him and replied, "If any void interpretation demon beasts appear, abandon Holy Sea Town." Void interpretation demonic beasts are still unknown. Vice Commander Meng saw the general's message and immediately replied. There's no time. Give up Holy Sea Town. You're back. There are 5 half-step void interpretation demonic beasts there. There might be void interpretation demonic beasts. The kingdom will let you give up. However, at this moment, City Lord Lei's message was transmitted over. Vice Regiment Commander Meng was slightly stunned when he saw it. Then he slowly nodded his head. He looked forward. More than 30 terrifying blood-savage demon beasts stood in the void as if they were the rulers of the world. Behind them there might be void interpretation level demon beasts. At this time, even if they sent void interpretation level demon beasts over, it would be too late. Holy Sea Town would also be destroyed. However, if an insightful emptiness realm expert came, there would be an insightful emptiness realm expert hiding among the demonic beasts. Instead, it would pose a certain threat to the insightful emptiness realm expert. One could not risk the lives of an insightful emptiness realm expert just because St. Sea Town was 100% destroyed. However, if an insightful emptiness realm expert came over, at least 1 million people would be saved. Vice Commander Meng sighed slightly. However, he could only sigh. Even if a void interpretation expert were to save 1 million people, where would these million refugees be placed? If they were all placed in Eastern Sea City, it would undoubtedly create a burden on Eastern Sea City and disrupt the peace and order of Eastern Sea City. Therefore, City Lord Lei and the kingdom's upper echelons tacitly acknowledged the deaths of this group of people. There were many cities in the transcendental continent that had been breached. They didn't pay too much attention to a single town. Let's go, Wind Riding Squad, follow me. Return to East Sea City immediately. When Vice Commander Meng saw the message, he looked at the beast that was about to reach the bottom of the city wall and said in a deep voice. Yes. The members of the Wind Riding Squad were stunned for a moment, then immediately nodded. Let's go. Under the shocked gazes of everyone on the city wall, everyone from the Ocean Cultivator Corps flew directly in the direction of East Sea City. Abandon the city and flee. This? Vice Commander Meng. Vice Commander Meng, what are you trying to do? The 3 academies and everyone on the city wall widened their eyes and shouted in panic. However, the Ocean Cultivator Corps didn't reply. They sped toward East Sea City as fast as they could. Bus, bus, bus. At this moment, the instructors of the 3 academies all received a message from the academies. St. Sea Town Abandoned Guard, come back immediately. St. Sea Town Abandoned Guard, come back immediately. These 9 words caused the teachers of the 3 academies to be slightly shocked. Call all the academies, go back immediately, go back to East Sea City. The teachers quickly reacted and loudly said to all the academies. What? At this moment, everyone on the East Gate City Wall who was shocked understood. The army of ocean cultivators had received the order to flee. They had abandoned the city and fled. The people from the 3 great academies also received the order to immediately flee to East Sea City. Everyone was stupefied. East Sea City was going to abandon them. The entire Star Moon Kingdom was going to abandon them. Facing the hundreds of thousands of ferocious beasts and the terrifying demonic beasts ahead, they would face the consequences of the destruction of the city in their lives. Let's go, let's go. The Ocean Corps directly escaped. The 3 academies also escaped. It's over. Our Holy Sea Town is finished. It's over, it's over. Our Holy Sea Town is completely finished. I don't want to die. What should we do? What should we do? We should also escape. We should also escape. Quick, quick. Everyone panicked at the East Gate. The Ocean Corps and the 3 academies were the main forces guarding the East Gate. Now that they had escaped, it meant that Holy Sea Town had been abandoned. It meant that they were dead. Chapter 1090. Chapter 1090 was the unrivaled hero. What should we do? What should we do? The ferocious beasts have already arrived at the city gates. The kingdom has already given up on us. We are doomed. Our Holy Sea Town is about to be invaded by the ferocious beasts. Run, quickly run. For a moment, the people of Holy Sea Town at the East Gate were in a mess. All the ordinary people who were waiting on the streets to defend the city heard this news and their faces turned pale. They even staggered. How could this be? How could this be? Mom, can we still survive? I don't want to die, but we can't escape at all. We're too weak. Everyone at the East Gate was in despair. Some of the mercenary groups from East Sea City saw the Ocean Cultivator Corps and the people from the 3 academies escape, and their faces changed dramatically. They hurriedly followed behind and fled toward East Sea City. Roar, roar, roar. At this moment an excited roar sounded. The group of mercenaries who had just flown out of the city saw in horror that tens of thousands of wandering sea monsters were attacking them. These demonic beasts are going to kill us all. One of the mercenary group leaders had an extremely ugly expression on his face. He gritted his teeth and shouted, "Run! Run! Run, run!" Not only the mercenary group from East Sea City, but also some people from Holy Sea Town wanted to run away. However, most of them went back to their families in despair. Son, wife. Father, come here. Father, let's go. I'll take you away. The entire east side of Holy Sea Town was in chaos. Some people could run away, but some people couldn't because this was their home and their family. If they ran away, what would happen to their family? Moreover, even if they ran out of the city, would they be able to escape? Where to? If they ran to East Sea City with their strength, they would definitely die on the road. Everyone was in despair. Hundreds of thousands of people in the entire East region were screaming in fear. The cries of children, the sobs of women, and the helpless sighs of the old man seemed to indicate death. Death was coming. Buzz, buzz. The trembling sound of the array formation was heard. According to the attack of the beasts below, the entire Holy Sea Town would fall in less than 10 minutes. In fact, if the group of blood-savage beasts were to attack, the protective formation of the entire Shanghai town might be broken in 1 to 2 minutes. At that time 700,000 to 800,000 people would be like lambs waiting to be slaughtered in front of this group of ferocious beasts. Ha! At this moment, Wang Xian, who was fighting against 3 extraordinary level 9 blood-savage beasts at the North Gate, felt the vibration coming from Shanghai town. He was slightly stunned and a look of astonishment appeared on his face. This is bad. The army of ocean cultivators and the people from the 3 major academies have abandoned the city and escaped. The East Gate has been lost and is about to be breached. At this moment, a terrified voice of a middle-aged man came from the position of the city wall. Wang Xian's pupils constricted slightly. The army of ocean cultivators had actually abandoned the city and escaped. Why didn't the Star Moon Kingdom send any insightful Emptiness Realm experts over? Why did they abandon the Holy Sea Town in 7 to 8 million people just like that? This caused him to be astonished. Do it. With a wave of Wang Xian's arm, the entire space turned into darkness. Ah! The strange demon made its move. 3 blood-red savage beasts' miserable cries could be heard. Wang Xian moved his body and flew directly towards the city wall. When he passed by, he saw Ao Gen 11 and the rest were still fighting. He casually killed the Blood Shadow Walker who was at Transcendent Level 8. There were only about 10,000 savage beasts at the city gate. He immediately charged over. Commander Wang, this is bad. The kingdom has given up on the Holy Sea Town. The Holy Sea Town is finished. At this moment, Jin Shenyuan flew over. His eyes were slightly red as he growled at Wang Xian. Run. Commander Wang, you should run. The Holy Sea Town can no longer be defended. At the East Gate, there are more than 30 blood-savage beasts standing in the void like kings. Among them, there are 5 half-step void interpretation level existences. Jin Shenyuan continued with a face full of despair. What? Wang Xian's expression changed slightly. A solemn expression appeared on his face. There were 5 half-step void interpretation level demonic beasts. Abandon the city and run? They have already left? Wang Xian frowned and asked. Yes, the East Gate is no longer guarded. The formation can only hold for a few minutes. The Holy Sea can't hold any more. Jin Shenyuan heaved a heavy sigh. Commander Wang, thank you so much. I want to. As he spoke, he shook his head and flew toward the city wall. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment before flying toward the city wall. Mayor. Mayor. When Wang Xian was standing on the city wall, he heard the voices of people shouting for Jin Shenyuan. The hundreds of thousands of people on the city wall and in the vicinity had already received the news from the East Gate. Compared to the chaos at the East Gate, there was no chaos because the place was already guarded. However, everyone's faces were extremely pale and their eyes were filled with despair. One by one, the city guards of Shanghai town shouted for Jin Shenyuan. Below, everyone looked at the mayor. Some of them had already cried out in despair. Jin Shenyuan stood on the city wall and looked at the hundreds of thousands of people below. When he saw their despair, his eyes turned slightly red. "Mayor, can we defend our home?" At this moment, a crisp voice came from below. A woman was holding a boy, and the little boy's bright eyes were looking at him. When the woman heard her child speak, she quickly covered his mouth. "Father, if we leave, what will happen to them?" Beside Jin Shenyuan, Jin Luyan tugged at her father's sleeve and looked down. Tears could not help but flow down her face. "Mother was killed by a ferocious beast back then. It's fine if we don't leave. Maybe we can hold on." Jin Shenyuan's body trembled slightly when he heard his daughter's words. He raised his head, afraid that tears would flow down his face. "Mayor, run as many people as you can. You are strong. Bring the young lady and run first. We don't blame you. We have no way of turning back this matter." An elder beside him sighed and looked down. There were more than 10 people there. They were all his family. With his transcendent rank 6 strength, he could run but he couldn't. He flew over and hugged his grandson with a smile on his face. "Who?" Jin Shenyuan took a deep breath, and a determined look slowly appeared on his face. He opened his mouth and roared loudly, "Fight! Fight! The north gate has been guarded. Let's go guard the east gate. As long as there is a glimmer of hope, I, Jin Shenyuan, will never give up. Even if I die in the battle in the Holy See town, I will not abandon the city and run away." He roared with all his strength, "If someone wants to leave, I don't blame you. If someone wants to fight, follow me to the east gate and defend the city." With that, he flew directly to the east gate. Looking at her father, Jin Luyan smiled with tears in her eyes and followed behind him. "Fight. Kill. Even if we die, we have to kill a ferocious beast. Follow the mayor and protect our home." After 3 seconds of silence, the north gate was suddenly in an uproar. One by one, the middle-aged youths with bloodshot eyes shouted loudly and immediately caught up with the mayor. "Grandson, wait here for Grandpa. Grandpa will go and conquer a piece of pure land for you." The old man who flew down touched his grandson gently and flew over. "There are no cowards in our Holy See town. Fight even if it means death. Our west arrival town has been defeated. Let's end this once and for all." The people of Holy See town flew over one by one. Even those who were at the first level of transcendence followed behind. Faced with a desperate situation, they chose to fight with their lives on the line, even if they already knew that death was right in front of them. Sigh. Wang Xian looked at Jin Shenyuan, who had lost his wrist. He could have escaped, but he chose to fight instead. Looking at the warriors of Shanghai town who were fighting bloody battles for their families and children, Wang Xian was slightly touched. "I originally wanted to leave after earning a wave of ferocious beast corpses. Now it seems like I have to fight with them. I hope there are no void interpretation experts. Otherwise, I will die and have to go to the Dragon Palace to wait for my resurrection." Wang Xian smiled and threw the storage spiritual bag to a golden swordfish. He then asked him to put the ferocious beast carcasses in it. After that, he flew towards the east gate. This was the first irrational choice he made when he came to the supernatural continent. However, he should not regret it. Chapter 1091. Chapter 1091 was one of the unrivaled heroes. "Run. Run away from the west gate. We're finished. We're going to die soon." "I don't want to die. I don't want to die." "Get out of the way. Don't crowd around. Get out of the way. My child, my child." When Jin Shenyuan and the others flew over from the east gate, they saw that the place was in chaos. The people who had gathered at the east gate were waiting for the result. At this moment of despair, some people wanted to escape, some hugged their heads and cried, and some wanted to find their loved ones. Gasp, gasp. Some people were pushed to the ground, and some people's children and loved ones were pushed away by the crowd. Boom, boom. Right at this moment, the sound of the city gate colliding was heard. The violent sound of the collision seemed to have hit everyone's heart. The array formation was trembling, and the entire Holy See town was trembling. Everyone calmed down. Jin Shenyuan's expression was extremely unsightly when he saw the situation, and he hurriedly shouted. However, when his voice rang out, it didn't cause the slightest ripple, and the area below was still in chaos. At this moment, many people had already sunk into fear. Bang! All of a sudden, there was a loud sound from the city gate, and a large hole was directly opened. In Holy See Town, one could see the densely packed ferocious beasts outside. Ah, the city gate has been broken, the city gate has been broken. The ferocious beasts are coming in, they are coming in, hurry up and escape. The sudden opening of a large hole in the city gate once again caused all the people to shout out in fear, and one by one, they desperately wanted to escape into the distance. However, there were too many people, completely blocking everyone. Some people even jumped up and stepped on the heads of people as they fled into the distance. Not good, cracks have appeared in the array formation. Jin Qianyuan and the others looked at the broken city gate with fear on their faces and despair in their eyes. Wa. Ah, my daughter. As the crowd fled, a woman holding a girl was pushed to the ground. The woman was knocked away and the little girl fell to the ground. The people behind her were still squeezing on the ground. Itch. The little girl felt her legs being stepped on and started crying. Boom. At this moment, a terrifying pressure suddenly enveloped everyone. Everyone's body stiffened and even their breathing became sluggish. Their figures instantly became smaller. Little sister, are you all right? Wang Xian floated in the air and looked at the cute girl with a ponytail who was lying on the ground. He waved his arm gently and held her hand as they floated in the air. What's the situation? The people of Shanghai town who were enveloped by the powerful pressure revealed a look of fear. Some of them raised their heads in shock. Everyone, don't panic. Shanghai town has not been destroyed yet. Hope has not been destroyed yet. Wang Xian, who was floating in the sky, shouted in a deep voice. His voice entered everyone's ears like thunder. Everyone was stunned. They raised their heads and looked at Wang Xian, who was in the sky. Ha! The president of the Jianghu Yuan and the Employment Association was slightly stunned. He looked at Wang Xian with a look of astonishment. It's not that the ferocious beasts and demonic beasts outside cannot be resisted. With me and Mayor Jean around, we didn't escape. We didn't give up. This battle is worth fighting. Escaping will only lead to death. There is still hope in this battle. Everyone, all the strong ones, follow me and continue to defend. Protect your homes and protect your loved ones. Wang Xian looked down at everyone and shouted in a deep voice. Bang bang. Crash. At this moment, the ferocious beasts outside the city seemed to have sensed resistance. There was an intense sound coming from the city gate. The city gate, which was more than 200 meters wide and dozens of meters tall, broke open, revealing the densely packed ferocious beasts outside. Their eyes revealed a bloodthirsty glow as they looked at everyone in Shanghai town. Everyone looked over hurriedly. At this moment, the people who had stabilized Wang Xian's heart started to panic again. If you don't want to die, don't want your home to be destroyed, and don't want your loved ones to die, then let's fight. Let's fight. This battle is worth fighting. Wang Xian saw the broken city gate and waved his arm. The fire dragon bead that had been nurtured all this while was covered with terrifying flames. The fire dragon bead was only at level 5 transcendence. It could not amplify his attack at all. However, Wang Xian did not want to amplify it. The fire dragon bead flew towards the city gate and instantly turned into a fire god dragon that was 20 to 30 meters in size. The fire dragon god rushed out from the city gate and attacked the ferocious beasts at the city gate. The powerful flames caused all the ferocious beasts at the city gate to die. The shocking attack shocked everyone in Shanghai town. Commander Wang is a powerhouse. He is not a member of Shanghai town, but he is fighting for us. Are we going to run away in a panic now? Running away will lead to unexpected death. Only by fighting can we survive. Even if we die, we must protect our homes and family. All the citizens of Holy See Town, follow me, Jin Qianyuan. Fight. Jin Qianyuan was grateful and excited when he saw Wang Xian making a move. He roared loudly. Fight. The president of the Mercenary Association and the rest who were beside Jin Qianyuan shouted loudly. Fight. Fight. Even the mayor didn't escape. We are a bunch of people who are about to die. Why should we run? Fight even if it means death. Fight even if it means death, we will die gloriously. The eyes of the young, middle-aged, and old men in Shanghai town gradually became firm as they shouted loudly. Everyone return to the city wall immediately and fight. Wang Xian roared loudly. With a gentle wave of his arm, the girl flew directly to her mother's side. He looked outside the city gate and saw many ferocious beasts surging towards the city gate once again. Fight! Wang Xian smiled and transformed into a ray of light. Boom! He rushed over from the city gate. His entire body was emitting blazing flames. The phantom of the fire god dragon appeared around him and rotated around him, making him look extremely majestic. Wang Xian rushed out of the city gate and immediately saw the countless ferocious beasts around him. He also saw the group of ants that were about to die as they hovered in the air like kings. Wang Xian's gaze swept across the group of demonic beasts. His demonic eyes were filled with coldness. Today I will show you what it means to rule the world. Wang Xian flew into the air. Dragon transformation. Roar. A majestic roar sounded in the sky above Shanghai town. A 35-meter-long fire dragon with flames burning all over its body appeared in front of everyone. This was the first time Wang Xian fought with the body of a divine dragon in front of everyone's eyes. Boom! The pressure of a divine dragon instantly filled the area in front of the east gate of Shanghai town. Below, all the wandering sirens below Transcendent Level 7 were lying on the ground, trembling. This was the suppression of the powerful divine dragon, the ruler of the ocean. Chapter 1092. Chapter 1092, He was the unrivaled hero. Roar. The roar of a dragon represented the arrival of Wang Xian on this supernatural continent. Below, more than 100,000 ferocious beasts were trembling. The dragon's might covered an area of 5 kilometers. Here, all the wandering sea monsters below level 7 of the supernatural realm were lying on the ground, not daring to move. At this moment, through the broken door, everyone in Shanghai town saw this scene and revealed a shocked expression. Everyone held their breaths. The noisy east door was now silent. Along with the silent ferocious beasts outside, the entire world seemed to have quieted down. Mom, is he the unrivaled hero? At this moment, the little girl who was saved by Wang Xian widened her eyes and asked in a tender voice as she looked at the majestic dragon god. Yes, he is an unrivaled hero. He is the unrivaled hero of our holy sea town. The little girl's mother's eyes were bloodshot as she looked outside with tears in her eyes. A person flew out and transformed into a powerful creature to suppress all the ferocious beasts. He was the savior of everyone in Holy Sea Town. He was their unrivaled hero. What kind of bloodline is this? How can it be so powerful that it can transform into the appearance of a demon beast? When a powerful bloodline is cultivated to the peak, it can indeed transform part of one's body into a demon beast. However, it is very rare to see someone who has completely transformed into a demon beast with a bloodline like this in the Transcendence continent. Could it be that Commander Wang is from the demon beast clan? No, the aura on his body is that of a human. Jin Qianyuan mumbled to himself. Sensing Wang Xian's terrifying aura, his body gradually became excited. All the soldiers of the Holy Sea Town, follow the king's command and fight together. Fight! Fight! A roar was heard. Seeing the powerful Wang Xian, the entire Holy Sea Town was filled with hope once again. Let's fight it out with them today. It's either life or death. Fuck-son, you stay here. If your father dies, don't be sad. Be a man and protect your mother and your sister in the future. Haha, so this unparalleled hero is Commander Wang. Let's fight. All the transcendents above level 1 in Shanghai town flew to the city wall. The battle continued. The flames of war had been ignited. This time, no one would escape unless they died. Roar, roar, roar. Outside the city, sensing the terrifying pressure from Wang Xian, the eyes of the 33 blood-savage beasts at a few kilometers away slowly revealed a solemn expression. In the middle of the city, a demonic beast let out a roar. Its ferocious voice spread throughout the entire Shanghai town. Fight! However, the response this time was the roar of everyone on the walls of Shanghai town. Their arrogant expressions gradually turned cold. Roar, roar, roar. A half-step void interpretation level demonic beast let out another roar. The wandering sea demons that were not within the range of Wang Xian's pressure headed straight for Wang Xian. The transcendent level 7 demonic beasts were also heading towards Wang Xian. In an instant, tens of thousands of roaming sea monsters charged at Wang Xian from behind. However, none of the roaming sea monsters that were within the range of Wang Xian's aura dared to attack him. They lay there trembling. When the 33 blood barbaric demon beasts saw this scene, a solemn expression appeared on their faces. Wang Xian, who was floating in the air, heaved a sigh of relief. Fortunately, the roaming sea monsters were aquatic creatures. They were of a lower level than him, so he could control them directly. Looking at the dozens of supernatural level 7 wandering sea demons and a few level 8 and level 9 ones that were attacking him, the flames on Wang Xian's body trembled. Roar! 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 The wandering sea demons that were within his area of control suddenly moved. They attacked the group of high-level wandering sea demons in a frenzy. The sudden attack and the attacks of 70,000 to 80,000 sea demons that were fearless of death caught the high-level sea demons that were charging over completely unprepared. They had never expected that their own kind, subordinates that were lower in level than them, would suddenly attack them. In an instant, dozens of high-level wandering sea monsters were covered by tens of thousands of sea monsters. Roar! 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 The dozens of sea monsters were caught unprepared by the sudden attack. In an instant, 7 to 8 of them were heavily injured and drowned in the group of fierce beasts. The other ferocious beasts hurriedly fled in fear. Seeing this scene, all the people of Holy Sea Town who were standing on the city wall were stunned. One person was able to suppress more than 100,000 ferocious beasts. Moreover, those high-level ferocious beasts wanted to attack, but they were actually attacked by those suppressed ferocious beasts. This was simply one person defending the entire East Gate. Commander Wang is helping us defend the city gate by himself? This is too terrifying. This is too cool. Is the creature Commander Wang transformed into a demon beast? Or is this a powerful divine ability of Commander Wang? Is Commander Wang the one who killed the son of the Ocean Cultivator Corps General? The Ocean Cultivator Corps still wants to kill him? That's right, it's this Commander Wang. If you CK him. The Ocean Cultivator Corps gave us up, and the kingdom gave us up. Instead, Commander Wang is fighting with us. What the FUCK is this king? This time I can survive. There's no shit Star Moon Kingdom, only Lord Wang. That's right, as long as we can survive, I'm willing to do anything for Lord Wang. Everyone on the city wall became excited. Their army had abandoned him and their country had abandoned them. A person that their army wanted to kill was fighting alongside them, helping them protect their last hope. Everyone swore in their hearts that if they survived this time, they would be willing to do anything for them. This was because Lord Wang had saved their lives. Most importantly, he had saved the lives of their entire family and protected their home. This is what a real home is like. Back when Shilai Town was attacked, the mayor had run away and all the important people had run away. So, I hope we can defend it and build a better Holy Sea Town together in the future. The refugees who fled from Shilai Town to Holy Sea Town felt sorrowful when they saw this scene. There was hope in their eyes as well as hope for the future. With the mayor who fought with them and Lord Wang who fought against thousands of soldiers alone, they would feel at ease in the future. Roar! At this moment, the 33 demonic beasts behind them could no longer sit still when they saw this scene. They let out a roar and headed straight for Wang Xian's position. One of the demonic beasts stood in the void with a cold gaze. The other 32 demonic beasts charged straight at Wang Xian. A terrifying dark energy that made one's heart palpitate was emitted from their bodies. Their bodies turned into streaks of blood shadows. Wang Xian's pupils contracted slightly as a solemn expression appeared in his eyes. 4 half-step void interpretation experts. Even he had to treat them seriously. Roar! He roared and spewed out a terrifying flame from his mouth. The battle had begun. Chapter 1093. Chapter 1093, Strange Demons Appeared. Boom! A violent collision sound rang out at the east gate of the Transcendence continent. The sound of an explosion reverberated throughout the entire sky. 32 blood-savage demonic beasts charged at Wang Xian. The powerful black fog collided with the flames. Charge! Wang Xian's body trembled. The tens of thousands of wandering sea demons that were under his control charged at the blood-savage demonic beasts without any fear of death. Beasts, you are courting death. When the 32 blood barbaric demon beasts saw the ferocious beasts that were under their control attacking them, they revealed a furious expression. Their bodies shook as they attacked the wandering sea monsters with their blood demon claws. Among the 32 blood barbaric demon beasts, The weakest one had the strength of a level 8 extraordinary. Under their combined attacks, the terrifying power tore apart the bodies of the wandering sea monsters in an instant. In an instant, fresh blood dyed the ground red. The blood on the ground had already started to thicken, and the ground was already covered with the corpses of the beasts. Hiss, what a terrifying blood-savage demonic beast. Can Lord Wang withstand it? Everyone looked shocked when they saw the 32 blood-savage demonic beasts killing tens of thousands of wandering sea monsters in an instant. It was too brutal and terrifying. We have to share some of the burden with Lord Wang. Otherwise we will be finished once he is in danger. Jin Qinyuan, who was standing on the city wall, said in a deep voice. Roar. However, at this moment, the blood demon beasts who had been standing at the back and did not make a move suddenly roared. The 50,000 to 60,000 wandering sea demons who were not under Wang Xian's control suddenly circled around 5 kilometers away from Wang Xian and attacked the holy sea town. Be careful. The ferocious beasts are circling around us. Get ready for battle. Sir Wang Xian has already blocked most of the attacks for us. If we can't hold on any longer, we will be useless. The president of the hiring association roared loudly with battle intent in his eyes. Yes, fight. We must not lose. Everyone roared with battle intent. At this moment, everyone unleashed 200% of their strength. At this distance, coupled with the fact that the group of blood-savage demonic beasts are all of the darkness attribute, even the people on the city wall wouldn't be able to see them when the strange demon attacked. Wang Xian looked ahead. 32 blood-savage demonic beasts were slaughtering the wandering sea demons at a rapid speed. These group of ferocious beasts below level 7 could kill hundreds or even thousands of them with a single strike. Especially for the 4 half-step void interpretation existences, they were even more ferocious. Unless there were 8 or 9 half-step void interpretation humans or void interpretation masters, it would be extremely difficult to kill the 4 half-step void interpretation demonic beasts. Wang Xian hovered in the sky and did not make a move. He waited quietly. Since you dare to interfere in the affairs of our blood barbarian demonic beasts, I shall use your blood as a sacrifice today. Ah. One by one, the blood barbarian demonic beasts slaughtered the wandering sea demons under Wang Xian's control. They were closing in on him at a terrifying speed. Wang Xian smiled faintly. There was a hint of mockery in his eyes. Do it. His heart skipped a beat. He looked at the blood barbarian demonic beast that was pointing its sharp claws at him. A teasing look appeared on his face. Bus, bus, bus. At this moment, a light dot suddenly appeared beside the group of blood-savage beasts that were hunting the wandering beasts. The light dot contained a terrifying power that seemed to be able to pierce through space. The moment the strange beasts appeared, all the blood-savage beasts revealed terrified expressions. Blood flow. The few blood-savage beasts roared in unison as streams of blood flowed out from their bodies. Dot of light explosion. However, at this moment, the strange demonic beast's supernatural ability had arrived. Dot of light explosion was the strongest single target attack. Coupled with the piercing pupil, the strongest attack landed on the vital points of the blood barbarian demonic beast. Boom. The sound of an explosion was heard instantly. Ah. In an instant, a miserable scream was heard. You want to kill me? The face of the half-step void interpretation blood barbarian demonic beast, who was pointing at Wang Xian from afar, sank. The black fog and blood fog around its body caused the AO demonic beast to reveal itself. Its sharp head emitted a blood-red sharp thorn. The sharp thorn emitted a dark red glow and was extremely deep. Blood shadow penetration. It was not only this half-step void interpretation demonic beast that reacted. There were 7 to 8 other blood barbarian demonic beasts that reacted in time and immediately counterattacked the strange demon. Blood shadow penetration was a single target attack similar to the dot explosion. It possessed unparalleled penetration and attack power. The release of the blood shadow penetration divine ability caused the few strange demons to lose the opportunity to release the divine ability, dot explosion. However, none of the strange demons panicked. A hint of disdain flashed in Ao Yao's eyes. He thought that he had dodged their assassination, but the real killing intent had just begun. Light and dark void. Ao Yao's body trembled slightly as the blood shadow penetrated through Ao Yao's body. Light and dark dot explosion. Void. Light dot explosion. The other strange demons also released the same divine ability. Void, for a short moment, was immune to all attacks. This was a very heaven-defying divine ability. During the period of Void they were invincible. When the Void passed, the moment the Blood Barbarian Demon Beast was shocked, killing intent came. No. The half-step Void interpretation level Blood Barbarian Demon Beast showed fear on its face, and its eyes were filled with panic as it roared loudly. Boom, 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 roar, roar, roar. The sounds of explosions and screams were immediately recalled. Even if the Blood Barbarian Demonic Beast didn't die at the first instance, it was instantly followed by the strange demon and its last chance of survival was cut off. In just a short second, 21 Blood Barbarian Demonic Beasts died, including one half-step Void interpretation level existence. Roar. Wang Xian roared. The flames on his body rose and covered the entire area. He moved. Roar, roar. Kill them. Kill them all. The leader of the Blood Barbaric Demonic Beast who was standing at the back was stunned. Clearly, he did not expect that terrifying creatures would suddenly appear and directly assassinate their 21 clansmen. Out of the 21 clansmen, none of them escaped. At this moment he could not hold it in any longer. He moved his body and charged towards Wang Xian. I'll leave the rest to you guys. Ao Yao will take care of the other 4 half-step Void interpretation demonic beasts. Wang Xian's 35-meter-tall body swept his tail towards one of the demonic beasts. The demonic beast still wanted to put up a desperate fight. Its body flew backward rapidly. Whoosh. Bang. At this moment, a half-step Void interpretation demonic beast appeared on Wang Xian's body. The sharp claws in its hands pierced towards the dragon's scale. However, the dragon's scales, which were comparable to a half-step Void interpretation defensive weapon, only left behind a few scars. You've ruined our plan. I, the Blood Barbarian, will definitely kill you. A cold and emotionless voice rang out. Instantly, thousands of figures materialized and attacked Wang Xian at the same time. Divine Dragon's Fire Tail. The light and dark fire dragon's eyes locked onto one of the bodies. Wang Xian's dragon tail was like lava. The flames were restrained and swept out directly. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.